And welcome, good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'm DJ Mike, along with DJ Gidget in the upper left or upper right or lower square. And our very special guests this time on Woody Video are the two and only Tom Richards and Lisa Mychols. Welcome, you guys.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for having us.
Yes. Definitely.
Yes. Well, I hope that we can have you a lot.
Yeah. Hey, if
Really
this goes well,
that sounds kind of
creepy.
creepy.
You want it. Right. No, it's cool. It's totally
You
cool.
guys are like this powerhouse dynamo on this. And I don't care mentioning, I don't believe in like competition or anything like that. So I'm going to mention right now, you guys have this amazing Luxuria show.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
and
Thank you so much.
it is so impressive. And you guys have this rapport with everybody in the chat room, and people are there and they want to hear what you have to say. And that is so impressive. I think that I wish Luxuria had the option of doing all the Zoom stuff too. They should.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't compete
Good
with
point,
Luxuria
yeah.
because they're on a different level of radio than we are.
Yep.
You
And
know?
I'm not ashamed to say I'm just a little bit jealous, but in a good way. You guys are
I'm
just
jealous.
great. Yep.
Hey, well, you know what? Right back at you guys, because it's to us, it's like, being DJs. This is. I was actually a college DJ, back in the day, all that kind of stuff. But you guys have been doing this for years, and it wasn't until we started doing like Saturday night specials with Luxuria, which was like once a quarter, and it was cool and fun. And there was that point where a call was made and say, hey, would you guys be interested in doing this weekly? And we were like, wow, we know how much work you guys put into this week over week. And I know now what it's like to get obsessive about a playlist down to the last song and how much time you can spend, like the 80-20 rule. It's like, it's easy to get maybe your first set list, but to get that last 20, you could spend a whole week just trying to figure out, should I
move stuff around?
So,
Yeah.
yeah, we have absolute respect for you guys that do it week over week. It's rewarding.
I gave up on playlists about 10 years ago. I do not go on playlists. I go on my heart.
Okay.
Yep.
You know
That
what?
is
Good
so
for you.
cool.
Good for you. That's great.
I can't. I get too many people in there asking for all this different stuff, and I just can't do it. And we are pirates. We're
Yeah.
not like
Yep.
I love it.
we're not like Luxuria. We're like pirates. We're like doing this for no money. We do
Slightly
this
offshore.
Right.
slightly offshore in a big boat called
Right.
Caroline.
Radio Caroline all the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is, when I signed up with this, I knew who you guys were on both of your bands.
Mhm.
And you guys are some of the first people that have ever been played back when we were Canadian Music Rocks.
Wow.
And
That's awesome.
Dave Fox was a huge fan of both of you guys. And
That's
he's a
awesome.
huge New Shoe fan too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are like our history, and you are kind of like, oh, what can we steal from Rodney this week?
Hey, we all, the best DJs always look at what everyone else is playing. It's just, and it's like, I love looking at the playlist and tuning in, of course, whenever we can. But man, the greatest thing about a DJ experience is the hand-picked, curated, sort of passionate, this is the music I believe in this week, and I think it's going to rock your socks off, and you got to hear this.
Yeah.
And, that putting all that music in one place is a really powerful thing. And I just have absolute respect. We're working on our set list tonight, actually.
It's true.
We had this whole set list all planned out. We played it last week. We're like, hey, here's our 40 songs. This is our format. This is our theme. Let's go with it. And then Lisa's called. She's like, hey, it's a full moon this Sunday.
You guys know it's full moon.
Oh my
Full moon
God.
this Sunday during our
That's
show.
going to
And I was
make
like,
work fun.
right. Like the mind's just racing of all the full moon and moon related songs we wanted to do. Like that, you haven't done a theme show yet, really. We do a lot of format.
Well, you'll have to play my favorite moon song, which is Howling at the Moon.
Oh, let's put that one down.
Well, all
Nice.
the papers down there at your feet.
So I'll
That's
throw
like-
one in. Do you have the Killing Moon, Echo and the Bunnymen?
Yes. Got that.
No,
Awesome.
but you know what's better
Yeah,
than
I
the
had
Echo version? There's a version by Novel Vague.
Oh,
They
I've
do
heard
like cover
you play it.
songs.
All right,
So
let's
you
put
guys
that
will
one
have to
down.
look that up. They changed the whole tone of the song.
All right, sweet. I always love
That
that.
might be good. Okay,
Yeah.
and the other one, Howling at the Moon.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
be sure
Oh,
to dedicate
and
them.
we're almost forgetting the most important moon song of all, which you guys probably already have on there, is Hole of the Moon.
Well, there was some back and forth on Hole of the Moon tonight. We
Oh, is that? Oh,
well,
is that who
yeah. So, yeah,
what
we
were
have
they
to agree
called?
100% on all the songs.
Hmm.
yeah,
And if we
I
don't, it's like the Beatles, like if everybody doesn't agree, unless it's Paul McCartney, it goes forward. But no, seriously, we have to
Just caught that.
100%. And if somebody's like, maybe we should save
And
that
she's
one
not
for
a
a
Waterboy
hit
fan,
show.
huh?
Right. Well,
Well, and we also move things to other shows.
yes, we do quite frequently. Yeah.
And it's like, I know if we're gonna play that twice,
Right.
we got to move that
So
somewhere
I
else.
say
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne's Bark
I
at the
tell you
Moon
what.
for our Halloween show. Yeah.
I'll do a show tomorrow and I'll play it.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was driving the other day and there was a turkey in the road. And
Oh
I
my
was,
goodness.
and Hole the Moon was playing.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
And there was a turkey. And then you posted about birds.
Yeah. Did you tell her what? Can we explain what happened about with our crows?
Yeah, yeah. So it was kind of like I think in a Stephen King book I once read, he talked about the congregation of a lot of kind of maybe slightly scary birds like crows or ravens, whatever, that was a harbinger. But we felt it wasn't really a harbinger. It was like sort of like we felt like there was a lot of these crows congregating, like seriously thousands. I've never seen anything
On
like
a
it.
mission, like on a mission.
On a mission, and
But
they
it
all
Whoa.
lined up
wasn't-
on a power line facing south, like they were fending off an enemy.
Yeah, but they weren't, because
Right.
I've seen that before. With there's a hawk, of course, but they'd be chasing the hawk. This
Yeah,
wasn't
maybe.
about chasing.
This
it
was something else
very
entirely.
different.
Something was
But
going
you
on.
got it, Gidget, and I'm so glad, like what you said. I was like, she doesn't even asking, like she gets it.
I follow the birds. I see the birds. And I had lost a friend this weekend. And then I saw the turkey. And I'm thinking, oh, yeah, he's a big giant turkey. That's kind of
Yeah.
funny. Then he's
Yeah.
eating some roadkill. And then Hole the Moon is playing. And then I get to the
Whoa.
house at work. And then like there's your post. And I'm like, that's just too weird.
That's a few
Yeah.
signs too many. Yeah.
Yeah, way
Yeah.
too many signs. My brain went,
Yeah. I mean, when you see a lot of like certain signs you see from nature, but when you see a large congregation of scary looking birds, I even think like, high anxiety, of course, which is very traumatic. And then possibly one of those Omen movies, which,
Yeah.
you know,
Had-
you
Hitchcock,
can't freak
yeah.
out, but this one
I
felt
like to
good.
take the kids where they film that and threaten to leave them there.
You know,
That'll change their attitude.
Yeah, it's not
That's
that
good.
far from where Mike lives.
all right, Game
Oh,
on.
Road trip.
did you know
Road
that,
trip.
Mike?
road trip.
Yeah, come on up. Let's go see the creepy sign and eat some good
I
food.
think it's about an hour and a half from Mike's house.
Where's it at?
Bodega Bay,
Oh, Bodega, yeah, about an hour and a half or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So north of you or something?
You're-
north
You're
of
like-
San Francisco.
Okay,
Oh,
So-
okay.
nice.
Train,
So-
Go across the bridge.
train trip, not road trip, train trip.
Oh yeah, train trip.
Have you guys traveled Amtrak? Do you guys do that?
I did it once. I went to a wine
Yeah,
thing
you did. Yeah.
with the girl.
Now I've never traveled I only traveled on a train in Europe. I did the Ural Pass. and did
Oh,
all that.
sweet.
Yeah, and that was awesome. I love
Did
that.
you do it like in Euro Trip and like chase like a dude, like in
No,
a little silver suit and drink some
no,
absinthe?
that would have been cool. No, I had a
little
10-day.
berries,
No, that would have been awesome. I had a 10-day.
looking for your friend
Ural
named
Pass.
Michael.
Yeah. That was great. I love it. I have not done trains here in America. I did do trailways. I've done buses before, and that's
I
a very
remember that.
planes,
Yeah.
trains, and automobiles kind of
Right.
experience. They dropped me off in the middle of nowhere, and then the school bus came along and picked us up for the last leg of the journey, which was very interesting.
I except for the BART train in the Bay Area, I'm not a big train person.
Wow.
Yeah.
I get
I've-
anxiety. I want off.
Wow. I've done Amtrak cross country a few times, and I've
Oh,
gone
that's-
from Sacramento to Chicago and back. And one time I rented a sleeper car. And so you get the right to take a shower on a train. So I've actually showered on a moving vehicle. It's like the
Nice.
wildest thing.
Yeah.
You get like 2 minutes of water, like I guess like the Navy. You get it's like you turn the water on, get yourself wet, soap up, turn the water on, wash off,
Right.
and you're moving the whole time. Chunk, 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 chunk. It's
How do you
just
do
wild.
that?
I've
Yeah, how do you
seen
do
Murder on the Orient Express. Not doing it.
That changes everything.
I've showered on a moving sailboat.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I have never been on a moving sailboat.
Where were you at, Lisa? Where was the boat at?
it was my dad's boat. Going to Catalina or coming back.
It's got a sailboat, like it's a 40 or
What
50.
if I'm wrong? And what if you can't take showers while it's moving? No, well, it doesn't matter
I'm
because
sure
when the
you
boat is in the
could.
water, you are always moving. So
And there's
yes,
plenty of water around.
technically,
That's
yeah.
true.
I'd
But
puke in the
again, you
shower.
have to. There's only so much water on the boat.
So it wasn't
mean,
a saltwater shower.
Oh,
Fresh
okay.
water.
Yeah, so it's whatever water we put in the boat. So you only have so much to shower and clean dishes with.
Is it like the showers on a cruise ship or they're like this big?
See, I've never been on a cruise ship.
I
Have
did
you
it
been on a-
once.
You
I did
it?
once too.
Oh, you didn't. You got sick?
Bleh. We hit a hurricane,
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can imagine.
so I'm never doing it again.
Yeah.
Well, you
Plus,
could just
you know,
avoid the hurricanes.
viruses.
Yeah, avoid that.
Well, that's kind of hard to predict. And you usually have to buy them like weeks out, right? So you don't know what's going to happen.
No, but you can sign a little thing that says, I check, no hurricanes, please.
Right.
You pay extra for that, but it is so worth it,
They
really.
missed us. We were like coming from Cabo, and we were supposed to be we were coming from Mazatlan, and we were supposed to be in Cabo the next day, and they said we have to go further out. And we couldn't figure out why we had to go further out.
Oh,
And there's my husband running to the front of the boat like Jack and like Titanic. He wants to see
I've got your
home.
hand and I won't let go. Love it.
Yeah, it was very, I mean, Maya was about 5 years old. She like puked all over the room because
Oh.
the boat was
Oh,
just
God.
rocking.
Oh,
But
Oh,
they
that's
needed
no
to get
fun.
us to safety. And then the next day they gave us all free drinks. So it was worth it.
Oh,
All right,
totally.
there
So
you
you
go.
get-
Although it's funny because usually it goes the other way around. First the drinks, then the puking, but you did it backwards.
I
Yeah,
was
there was
gonna
no
say,
way to not do it on that boat.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. Thank you. Thank you.
That's awesome.
I can.
It's all about the
Love boat.
puking.
The
I
love
wonder if anyone ever
boat.
got sick on the Love Boat.
They
Uh,
must have.
of
They
course
just didn't
did.
film those parts.
Did
Right.
they, I mean,
When they
did
sit
they
on the
really take the
dancing
love boat out? Or was it on a sound stage?
No, Love
Ah,
Boat is real. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
they went to Puerto Vallarta all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
always.
Those were real people.
Puerto Vallarta.
I don't know anyone who's ever been on the TV shows. I'm sure I'm sure we can find somebody who's been on the boat. Let's go find Charo.
It's-
And
yeah,
Charo, that's
always.
right, she was on a lot of episodes. Right?
Fantasy Island, Paul Williams, right?
I was gonna say
Right,
those
you've got
two
a bunch of
shows blur together for me. I just picture the Love Boat
Yeah, they
sailing
were
off
back
to
to back.
Fantasy Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, but remember,
Okay.
Fantasy Island's supposed to be about hell.
Well, yeah, you're right. Rourke is
Mm.
probably the devil in the early episodes where he's evil
Right.
and like
But
kind of
isn't he trying to
shifty.
help people get through the third dimensional realm? Like, the
yeah,
ego
he
and
got a
all
lot
of those
nicer
things.
and
They
more
got nicer
possibly
because people
angelic.
got
But remember-
scared.
Yeah, he would kind of
So-
disappear sometimes. Like they'd turn
So-
around and he was like impossibly gone.
That's a good
Yes.
point. He was trying to get his wings and trying to get out of hell, trying to upward. So
Maybe.
if he helps enough people.
But there was a movie before the TV show. That
Yeah, yeah, and it's really scary. I remember
it
seeing it
is.
on
Wow.
the TV as a kid.
And then they
And he's like
remade the
trying to
TV
kill
show.
the guy who wants to be in like this survival run, and Rourke is like trying to kill him with a sniper rifle.
Yeah,
Right?
Ricardo Montalban is scary anyway.
Yeah.
And that
He is.
tattoo
I love
guy.
him. But I always loved about they had a formula, just like the A Team, like you go through the hero's journey. But I always loved like with Fantasy Island, there was always like one person who got the fantasy, but they didn't want it, right? And they'd be like, oh, Mr. Rourke, this isn't the fantasy that I wanted. Ah, yes, but is it Mr. Jones? And it was like they would have that moment where they're just like, okay, I get it. What
I
I
was just
have, my
waiting
family
for-
back home is great, and I don't have to,
I was just
There-
waiting for somebody to like want Barbie Benton.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
the
my God.
fantasy right there. She was
Right.
only on like maybe
I agree with
12,
you on that
13
one.
episodes.
Yeah, I
There
know,
was a
I know.
definite underlying creepiness set, and it shouldn't have been because that's like supposed to be lighthearted Saturday night entertainment, but there's always that
Well,
edge to it.
it's what's his name?
Yeah,
Oh,
some
what's
of
his
them
name?
were really scary. Paul Williams.
No, not Paul Williams. The producer, the guy who
Oh,
came up
Aaron
with-
Spelling.
Aaron
Yeah.
Spelling.
Oh,
Yeah.
he is creepy.
Yeah.
He was married to Morticia.
Really?
Yep.
I thought Gomez
Wow.
was.
That's a good fun
That
fact.
is a good
In real life.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was
Carolyn
mean.
Jones.
Yep.
There you go.
But that's not Tori Spelling's mom.
No,
Oh, it's
no, she's got the weird one with the big eyes.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But they both were kind of weird looking. Kind of explains Tori. Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, those shows are a lost art. I mean, it really captured a great period of time in television history.
Yeah.
And it's got the Paul
Right,
Williams
that song.
soundtrack.
It's the
I'm
last
sorry,
great
what-
Exotica song ever written, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Right.
It's about Paul Williams.
Paul Williams, man, we love those episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
great
they
composer.
remade the Fantasy Island with Malcolm McDowell in the 90s or 2000s.
Really?
I never saw those. I'll
And
have
they
to check
remade
those
it,
out.
and it had Sydney Greenstreet and
Wow.
the little woman from Beetlejuice, the big bulgy eyes,
Really?
Sylvia Sidney.
Wow. Wow.
This was a series?
And they were travel agents, and they would trick you into, you would die in front of their travel agency, and they would trick you into going to Fantasy Island.
Hmm.
That's so
Wow, I
true.
gotta check that
Yeah,
out.
that
That's
I think
deep.
there's got to be at least 10 or 11 episodes of it, too.
Aaron
Wow.
Spelling was part of that.
I don't know. Was he dead?
He had
Maybe.
to have.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, look, it's time to meet Gidget and Mike.
Ooh.
So
You're right on time.
But now who's taller, Tattoo or Paul Williams?
Paul, probably.
I've met Paul, so
No, he's not taller than me.
not me. The
Right.
tattoo.
Paul is definitely taller than Tattoo.
I would have liked.
Not that I've met Tattoo, but I've seen Tattoo on TV, and he's considerably.
Yeah.
Ricardo Montalban's. He's about 6 feet.
I wish they made a Ricardo Barbie doll. Wouldn't
I
That would
that
have
be
been
yeah.
fun.
With
Can
the
you
white
action
imagine what he
figure.
would have done with
I would
our
love
Cher
that.
doll? That would
My
have been
friend-
hot.
Yeah, definitely.
They would have shared that dressing room.
Oh,
Things that they could have done to the Barbie dream house.
Oh, you know what? A Ricardo Montalban Barbie doll would have been great. If Viv had one of those, like we'd be doing Fantasy Island all the time. And I always loved, like occasionally, like every other third episode, there'd be like somebody would say, he'd be like, boss, what's his fantasy? That is so-and-so. He wishes to be a rock star and travel the world. But boss, you said that fantasy is too dangerous. You'd never have it again. Yes, Tattoo. But it could be a matter of life or death. Like he always had those great moments of just,
You're
he's
too
such
good
a
at
great
that.
actor.
They
and
could
he brought that
reuse
class, that
the
show.
little girl doll on Barbie as
Yeah,
Tattoo.
yeah. It's not.
That's a
Skipper.
good idea.
It's not.
And
Skipper.
interchangeable
No.
wigs.
The other one.
All right.
It's the other one, not Skipper, but there's one that's
Little.
She's
Oh
so
yeah, the even
cute.
smaller one. Yeah,
Mhm.
we have
Yeah.
that one.
And then
We
you'd
look
have to be able to get
Oh yeah, it's in our
We-
class.
an upgrade for Con. You'd get a Con wig.
Oh, yeah.
As an upgrade.
Oh, with Con accessory upgrade.
Yes.
Get all that extra stuff. Yeah.
I love it.
That's probably the best of all the Trek movies right there.
Oh, easily. I
Easily.
don't care how good the special effects get or how good the storylines get. You just can't beat Con with, Ricardo Montalban for my money. Easily.
I
Exactly.
have to go back and forth because I'm a big fan of the TV show because I'm a Trekkie.
Oh, us too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
love that.
do I
Yeah.
want to be with the little children episode, or do I want Tribbles, or do I want to just jump ahead to Con?
Right.
Because
No, I hear you.
the Marvin Belli,
Exactly. No, I'm telling you, there's a magic, and I don't know if you're a Trekkie, you refer to it as whatever, but the original series, I'm not sure exactly what it is. I'm a Star Trek fan. I'm not like, like over the top, but I definitely love the original series for the acting, the characters, the sense of humor, the storylines, the kitschy cheese factor of the 60s,
See, that's where I'm a Trekkie at. I'm not a Trekkie with all this new stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Patrick is really good looking, but he's not.
Yeah,
He's not William Shatner.
right. He's not.
Yeah.
Spock, how can we understand the speech?
Have you heard his cover of Common People?
No, I haven't.
Oh God, you gotta look that up when you're
God.
done.
I like his covers.
I want to live with the common people.
I want to
Wow.
live. I can totally see that.
Okay.
I can totally hear it already.
And you got little Jarvis behind him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's it for me too. The 60s Star Trek is the Star Trek, like the 60s Batman TV series is the Batman.
Right.
Like I was shocked when they started making Batman movies and they weren't funny. It's like, wait a minute, where's all the funny stuff?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm Batman.
Where are the tights?
That's the funny part of that
Yep.
movie.
Yeah.
Very, very funny part.
I stopped watching the Batman cartoon probably when Maya was like 1 or 2. I mean, okay, so I watched it for a long time past. I should have. But I got to see the very first Harley Quinn when she jumped out of a cake.
Nice.
Mm.
And
Nice.
I was like, really, I'm like, that is it. That is like the coolest thing ever. But then it just went downhill. She
Yeah.
was cool, but she
Yeah.
was so cartoony when they brought her out. She was
Yeah.
based on Calliope from Days of Our Lives.
Wow. Okay. There you go.
So, who was married to a guy. No, it's the girl from General Hospital who was married to Q, I think. She was
Do you
married
remember
to
that
somebody.
song? General Hospital.
Oh, yeah. You had to bring that up.
I love General Hospital.
Yeah,
Like the
of course.
song.
Yeah.
The-
Luke
I
and
go
Laura,
back and look
Luke and Laura.
at old General Hospital like stuff on Wikipedia.
they were on fire back then. I mean, it really,
Yeah.
it tapped into the zeitgeist. I mean, it was there. And, it was always part of our lives, but that's when they were just like in the zone and just everything kind of came together at once.
Oh yeah.
I saw John Stamos on TV. I think it was Leno or Letterman or one of them. And he said that he got arrested for driving bad and he
Mhm.
went to jail. And this big burly guy sitting next to him and staring at him going, oh my God, this guy's going to say something to me. And he says, oh my God, Blackie, I knew you went to jail, but I didn't know it was this one.
Oh,
Oh, no. Oh my God.
Wow.
I was laughing so hard. I mean, everybody's got their favorite General Hospital and One Life to Live stuff if they're from our generation. Like mine was Casey the Alien. I loved Casey the Alien. I thought
I
he was
want
hot.
to know.
Yeah.
And there was Mary Hartman, right? The
Of
night-
course.
Oh, I love Mary
Oh,
Hartman.
Mary Hartman.
Edge
Mary
of
Hartman.
Night.
The Edge of
I love
Night.
Edge of Night.
Oh Lord.
So, Mike, what was your favorite?
Gosh, I liked the TV series Soap.
I love Soap.
Aw, well, of
I have the
course,
box
yeah.
set.
I like Soap, and I liked
Really?
Mary Hartman. And I liked the spinoff. What was it? Fernwood Tonight. That
I
one still
love
cracks me up.
Fernwood Tonight.
I didn't see
I
Fernwood
saw
Tonight.
those
Yeah.
when they came on Nick at Night.
What about Rhoda?
Yeah.
Any Rhoda fans out there?
I love Rhoda.
Yeah, yeah.
Rhoda was so much better than Mary Tyler Moore. I know people are going to hate me for saying that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep it zipped up right now, but yeah.
I just loved her. And I liked her on Valerie's Family too. She was one of my favorites.
And there
Yeah.
wasn't there a Phyllis show also? A
Oh,
Phyllis?
yeah,
spinoff?
Phyllis. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah,
Oh, I
Phyllis.
like her. She was
I
a Golden
do.
Girl, right?
Phyllis. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Cloris Leachman.
Cloris Leachman.
Horace Leachman. Yeah.
Ooh,
Did
I
you ever see
Total
the wife
badass.
swap where she would walk to people's houses to get coffee in the morning?
No.
Wow.
Look up her on Wife Swap.
Okay.
That's a
all right.
YouTube for you. She would
We're
get
in.
up and she was already starting the dementia. So she would knock on her neighbor's door and every day a neighbor would feed her and give her tea.
Wow.
And it was
Wow.
so sweet. I just love her.
Yeah.
See,
she's
that's-
amazing.
I think that's where we all grew up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's more than just us growing up with the same kind of music. It's us growing up in a whole pop culture that kids don't have today.
For
Oh my
sure.
It's
God.
so-
We watch things on demand.
Yeah.
And when your parents leave and you're there by yourself sneaking TV, what were we
Yeah.
watching?
Yeah.
That's
We
right.
didn't have cable.
Cell
Cell
blockade.
blockade.
I love Cell Blockade.
Yeah.
I learned a lot on that show.
Yeah. I was 11 or 12 and it was in the city. It was in Virginia Beach would show it, but we couldn't get it in Richmond. I had to put like
Hey,
foil on my thing to tune in around 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock when they would show it. It would kind of come in and out at the same time, but I was like, it's from another world because we didn't get that
Yeah.
in Richmond. It was-
Is that where you're from, Tom? Richmond, Virginia?
No, I'm originally from Wausau, Wisconsin. I was born in Wausau, lived there till
Ah.
about 6, then moved to Brownsville, Texas, the other extreme in the United States, literally on
North to
the border, the southern tip of Texas.
that's food. One
Amazing.
of.
Yeah, the school food was way better. The Mexican food we got at school was way better than anything I've had in
bet.
my entire life. And then moved to Richmond when I was about 10, and that's where I spent the rest of my life. So I call Richmond my hometown because that's
Got it.
pretty much where I spent the majority of my formative years, I suppose.
Mhm.
So you've lived in the top and the bottom of the United States, the right side, now the left side. You've covered like all four corners.
Right. Well, not the four corners, unfortunately. Maybe the four middle areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten up to Maine yet.
I haven't either.
Mm.
Farthest I've
Yep.
gotten is Boston.
Yeah.
But I've gotten to the tip of Washington, which is Nia Bay.
Nice.
And I've gotten down to San Diego and I've gotten down to the tip on Florida.
Hmm.
But I haven't been to Maine yet. But I
How about
did
you,
see
Mike?
a big, huge lodge for sale that we could all live on.
All
You
right,
do
do
radio
it.
shows.
Where? Key West?
No, up in Maine.
Oh, Maine. I
And
And
love
of
it.
course, the picture had, but how many feet of snow, Mike, did it have? Like about 5?
Probably. But that's
And it
okay
was taken in
because
summer.
yeah.
Oh,
We'll just all
God.
hole up in there and do radio shows. I mean, that's
It
the whole
had
point.
5
We'll do
cabins.
luxuria shows and Woody shows in there. Be
There you
perfect.
go.
Oh,
There you go.
$400,000, 5 cabins, and a 10-bedroom house
Oh, wow. That sounds phenomenal.
on a lake.
Yeah.
On a lake.
that works for me.
Stephen
I'm
King
there,
country.
I'll see
I'm
it.
in. I'm in.
I sent it to Maya, and Maya said, "Have you not watched Castle Rock in the last year? We are
Right.
not moving to Maine."
Yeah, that's like Stephen King country out there. And every
Yeah.
scary book I've ever read, I think, I think it was Salem's Lot was the first one I read when I was 10. And it's all Bangor, Maine and all that kind of stuff. And I think that I still want to go though. Like I really
do
want to
too.
go.
I'm still scared.
not
I have to go
Howling.
with another Stephen King fan, or I won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
There you go. Seriously, like vampires and God only knows what else.
I
is
read
out there
Salem's
waiting.
Lot. I must have been 10 years old, and I was like, "This is it. This is like the future of horror for me."
There you go.
And
Wow.
it scared me. It scared me
yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
And then, I had to stop reading it. I was in high school, and I couldn't finish it.
Yeah, I never read it, but I read a bunch of those early ones and I loved them. I mean, Salem's Lot, my sister, she had all these books and she was a flight attendant with United. And I remember she left her stuff when she went out. And I had Salem's Lot, I had Night Shift with all the short
Mhm.
stories in
I
it.
love Night Shift.
This the Four Seasons with all the novellas and stuff in it, which was, of course,
messed up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the
Yeah.
one with Secret Garden and Green Mile in it.
Yeah.
Lawnmower Man.
Lawnmower Man.
my
Oh God.
Yeah.
Gotta
And
love
the
Secret
original
Garden.
Stand By Me, the body.
Yeah, the body. Yeah.
All
I
that stuff.
love
Pet
Yeah,
Cemetery,
right
I
time.
think, is the scariest of all of them.
Yeah, especially, I mean, the book is way scarier than the movie because, you know, Herman Munster's playing like
Totally.
yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And it's cute and it's adorable, and you want to take that kid home,
Exactly.
whether he's going to kill you or not.
Right,
What
exactly.
did the little kid say? Pretty, pretty.
Right.
I just remember that. Ah. Ah.
I played with mommy and I played with daddy, and now I'm going to play with you.
Right. Oh yeah, totally, man. Messed up.
Road
So I'm
pizza.
good.
You know?
I'm
Yep.
putting two and two together. We're talking about horror movies, and Tom, you spent a lot of your youth in Richmond. Did you know of a guy there named the Bowman Body?
All right. So that rings a bell. Like it doesn't hit me right off. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Because that sounds familiar.
I have friends in Richmond, and they're big fans of a guy named the Bowman Body, and he was like a horror movie show host, like late night Saturday nights. All the kids would watch him. He would just host these terrible horror movies. Like we had one in LA called Seymour, and so. But I guess that I just thought maybe you knew of him.
I don't know of him. I'll have to look him up. I moved to Richmond in 1979 and I was 10 years old at that point. So if he was around right then or before, maybe I might have
Yeah.
known him.
Yeah, we had Bob Wilkins up in the Bay Area.
Oh yeah.
And he also did
Creature
Captain
features.
Cosmic. So we had sci-fi on one day and horror movies on the other.
Wow.
Very cool.
They
Yeah, I think
based a
Bob-
character on ours in that movie with Danny DeVito, where he's a horror movie host and he helps solve a crime. They
Huh.
based him on Bob Wilkins.
I've got to see that. That sounds
I
great.
don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
Something the Bear. It had Reese Witherspoon when she was a little kid.
Wow.
Huh.
Wow.
That was like really old.
Not Smokey and the Bear.
No, but you know,
Or
now
BJ and the Bear for that matter.
I love BJ. and the Bear. So I'm like thinking, okay, so Tom says his sister was a flight attendant and he's like got this whole rock and roll thing going down. So
Mhm.
basically, and then he's married to the hot rock and roll girl. So basically he's Cameron Crowe.
Yeah, no, let me tell you, when I saw Almost Famous, that scene where Zooey Deschanel goes off to be the flight attendant and she leaves all of her records, that was my sister. Like she had all those albums, the Beatles, the Beach Boys, Led Zeppelin, and the Who, and I just remember like marveling at the album covers and opening up Quadrophenia, you know, the fold out with the booklet and all the pictures of the cigarettes put out and the dinner, and just having my mind blowing, like, what is this? Like that whole art, the mysterious, and listening to Pink Floyd, putting it on. I had this Jamboree jukebox, which is the light up thing you put on your little 45s on and it changes colors. I used to go down in the
Wow.
basement of my house and put on Dark Side of the Moon when I was 4, and I would do it to scare my friends. And I'd say, who could last the longest?
Wow.
And I'm serious.
That would be doing something I would have done.
That-
I would do it.
That music was inspiring and scary at the same time. It was a lot of 60s cool stuff, but also a lot of scary prog rock in there too.
See, kids are missing out. They don't do
They don't
things.
have that.
Yeah. Putting
My
on
brother-
Breathe, man, nobody made it past Breathe. Like that was like, you know, one of those moments that kids would just like, they couldn't take it. But I had my sister's record collection.
See,
I had my mom's and my
Oh,
brother's.
that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I would say we could, you know, come up with a toy, you know, that we could produce of the scariest songs for kids, you know, kind of like the jelly
Lawsuit
beans.
City.
You know, that's what I'm saying. It's like my child is now traumatized
Right.
by music.
So
You know,
Gidget-
Gidget posted one the other day that scared me when I was a kid, and that's Seasons in the Sun. I still freak out when I hear that.
I heard
you know,
about
that was pretty deep. And that song is kind of,
Okay.
It was just very creepy to be driving by the cemetery and have it start.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was 4 or 5 and that song made me cry. Like it got to me.
The
I got
Jacques
carried
Brel
away.
version I love the most,
Okay. Yeah.
but you don't know what they're saying.
Right. Well, that's,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But it's such a beautiful
No,
song.
my sister told me, she's like, yeah, it's about him dying. And I thought she was serious, like he was about to die. And I looked him up after reading your post, Gidget, and I'm like, that bleep is still alive. No. Like I never knew this whole time.
So it's Terry Jacks, right? From
Yeah.
Pop-
Yeah, Theater of the Mind.
And
Yep.
then the B-side was Put the Bone In,
Ooh.
What?
the dog getting hit by a car. But
Oh
no,
my
he
God.
survived. He survived.
Now, is that a euphemism for anything, or is that really
I
a
think it
dog
was-
getting hit
it
by a
was
car?
just
No, I think
dog.
it, yeah, I
Because
think
I was like I used to look at the back and go, what the heck? What? Stop it. I used to say, what the heck is Put the Bone In? Like, what a weird title. And so I
I'm with
finally
you, Mike.
listened to it.
Yeah.
And
See,
yeah,
me and Mike had that conversation a couple weeks about songs
Ah,
Yeah.
that are really warped that we grew up with on Dr. Demento
Dr. Demento,
that
right?
made us who we are.
Right.
Well,
And I
Exactly.
still sing those songs to my kids,
Totally.
like, you know, Two Dreadful Children by Cruella de Vil. And
Nice.
I'm looking over my dead dog Rover.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking over.
I mean, half
my
we
death
sing,
doctor.
but what are those scary songs about the Black Plague? I mean, we're singing those to our babies.
Oh, Ring Around the Rosie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
crazy.
when I was a kid, one of my favorite songs was The Blob.
Oh, God, don't get me started on
This
that one.
man.
You
That-
should cover it.
Oh, God, you know
Let's do
what? That's a
it.
great idea. All right,
you.
we're doing our Halloween single.
Okay.
We're gonna do that, and we're
7
gonna
and
do
6?
7 and
Okay.
6, and we're gonna do the Undertale song. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
great.
the under that from that TV show. I mean, that
Right?
game.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a song on there called Spooky Tune or something, and it's where you hang out with the ghost, and it goes dun 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 dun. It's very creepy and very sort
Yeah,
of.
my son loves that.
Oh yeah,
My-
we're gonna do a
Playful,
ska
yeah.
version, kind of a ska.
Oh, nice.
version of
That'd be
it. Dun, dun,
Oh, I could hear that.
Well, my son being autistic, he loves stuff like that, but not
yeah.
real music. The
That
other one
music-
wants real music
Yeah.
and not stuff like that.
Well, I'll say this: Undertale, and Vivian turned us onto it.
Mhm.
The music that Toby Fox, the guy who created the game, he's probably better at music. There's some really haunting and it just gets under your skin kind of music. Like when I play the game is cool, whatever, some fun characters, fun dialogue, but some of the music that's in there is really brilliant. Like I want to do a
Mhm.
radio show about video game music, and I want to put some of
Yeah.
that stuff in it. You know, the old
Mhm.
classics, of course, Mario Brothers,
Yeah.
but there's some.
I
great-
played Pac-Man Fever for my son in the car
Oh,
today.
gotta
yeah.
love
And I
that.
sang along, and he's looking at me like,
I got Blinky Mama. Yeah, whatever. I can't. I
and
remember
I'm
they
like
were
looking
on-
at him. I'll
Yeah, I
stop if you
remember,
let me start naming dogs again.
They were on. I remember seeing them on Dick Clark. They were on Dick Clark. It's
Wow.
Oh
fine.
wow.
Somewhere. Yeah.
I played Pac-Man.
Where's
I'm that
Scott?
old.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Well,
older than you guys.
that's not possible. But
Yeah, it
if
is.
you are around our age, then yeah, they were on. They were
Dick
actually
Clark?
Dick Clark. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we need to.
I can't remember. It was Buckford and something.
Huh.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it. Oh God, that's it. It's on the tip of my tongue.
We'll
And
find
that's
That's-
no joke though. These days, video game music placement, that's where a lot of kids hear music. The only place to hear music.
You know,
I
you're right.
sometimes get their songs stuck in my head when I walk by,
Mhm.
and they're listening to some creepy song on some Japanese anime show that they're
Yeah.
doing, and on Roblox, and I'm like going, "What is that?
Yeah.
That's really creepy." But I'm
Yeah.
like, it's gonna get stuck in my head.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's cool. There's some great music out there. Eclectic music, good stuff. You just, it might be you gotta kind of be around it to find it. But yeah, there's still
We
Yeah,
have
some
a
good-
DJ. We have a DJ at Woody who every year at Halloween puts out a really weird Halloween record for charity.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying
Tim.
it makes a lot of money because it's really weird, but he does it, and he does it with the love that he has, and everybody will donate because it's for charity, and he does this,
Aw,
and he wants to know if I'll play it, and I feel really bad because I love Timmy with all my heart, but it's some seriously strange Halloween stuff. Some of it's really good though. Yeah, some
That's
of it.
awesome.
Is it dark, like dark and strange?
I think it's just all strange. Some of it's dark.
mhm. Okay.
He's a dark
I may
person
have-
anyway.
I may have a place that we submitted our song to that's all about like Halloween, like that's all they talk about.
Mm.
And I'll remember to send it to you if it's something that he might.
You can go and look at his stuff on Bandcamp. It's under Woody
Okay.
Radio. He puts it on
Okay.
our page.
Yeah.
We've
And
done a few charity albums. So
That's awesome.
What's his name?
Timmy Ragman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tim the Ragman. Yep.
And Tim the Ragman. He was on today, and I actually called his show just for the hell of it while I was driving.
I heard him too. His mic was he was using some special effects or something today, I think.
He plays all vinyl.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
We like I said, I let them all be pirates. I let them do whatever they want. I don't care.
That's great.
Mhm,
No, that's
mhm.
that's exactly the direction we were given as well.
Love it.
I do too. Yeah, I love it, and it's a great experience. Like I swear, like I have so much respect for DJs, like what you guys do week over week. I'm serious.
But see, we have respect. You're on more than I am now.
Plus,
Well,
a lot of thought really goes in your show, whereas I'm just kind of reading the room. I pick about 80 or 90 songs
great.
I want to play, but I'm reading the room. And so if somebody says something that kind of sends me a different direction, I go there.
That's what I do.
I love that. That would make, I seriously, like that to me, that's what a great live DJ or, on-air DJ, it's like you get requests and it's like, we're more of the curated, let's put the set list together and then let's go out there and deliver the goods. And so we're going to be on Luxuria Live coming up here in October for a couple weeks.
Oh, live. Nice.
Fun drive. Yeah. So it's like one of those things. It's like, I haven't been in a studio and doing vinyl stuff for about 20 years, and maybe a little longer. I don't know. It's been a while since I was in college. And so we're basically lining up, going through our vinyl and figuring out what we want to do. One show we have planned is the classic singles B-sides. So we've got a lot of classic 60s and 70s singles, but not playing the A-side, the obvious A-side, but playing whatever the B-side is. That's kind of fun. So I don't know. It's going to be crazy. Like,
You're gonna wing it.
Right, we're gonna wing it.
Don't do that Terry Jacks B-side though, whatever.
Oh.
You do.
No, that would be put the bone in.
No bone.
Thank you.
You know, it's really funny.
Am
All the DJs here have all these elaborate equipment. I mean, I have, see if I can pick this up. It weighs a ton. No, I can't. I have a Yeti. But I don't
nice.
have
Yeah,
an
it's a great
elaborate
mic.
setup.
That's a great mic.
Yeah, I don't have like an elaborate setup.
I think we also are on the SM58, Beta 58. Exactly. This is the Beta 58. I've got an SM57. And,
Well, check this out. I just bought the SM48. I just want to get a cheap second mic and for my trip to Texas. And this thing sounds almost like the 58. I mean, if you have really important studio work to do, I wouldn't do it, but it sounds pretty close.
When I first started, I had I had the little one, the little SM, whatever it was, mini. And I had it, I would like hang it at the front. That was back in the old days when you had those big, huge monitors. But it was all the mixing board and stuff like that. And I could never be spontaneous. So I just went and grabbed a snowball and that was that.
Now that's great. You know what, when you're doing the kind of DJ, especially like you said, you're reading the room and you're getting requests and you're rolling with it. You just got to be as mobile as possible. You can't.
And I'm not on enough to plan. It's like someday I'll just go, oh, wow, it's 4 o'clock. I think I can give an hour.
That's great.
Stick it in and do it, you know?
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Kick off the secret weapon, take it over, you know?
There you go.
Yeah.
He likes to be kicked in the butt occasionally.
You got to bring up the big gun.
Shout out to Boris.
Yeah.
Shout out to Boris.
Shout out to Boris. Absolutely. It does. It reminds me of college radio. I used to love, like, if people canceled their shows, I would go up to the studio and I was like right there, man. That was my thing. That's what I love to do. And they had an extensive, vinyl library. And it was just.
I got to pull records at KFJC in Foothill.
Wow.
But I never got to be on the air and I always wanted to do it.
Wow.
And I always felt that my friendship with Rodney would keep me from doing it. And I had to get his blessing to do this.
Wow.
And then, he's like, it won't be that big. Go ahead,
Uh-huh.
Oh, you just didn't want to get any bigger than Rodney.
Yeah. And I still listen to his show. I just don't steal from it anymore.
I love it. I mean, it's just like, like the Beatles. I remember I'm a huge Beatles fan. And I just always loved that there's a story, especially around the middle part of their career. It's like they would go into the studio and say, hey, what band do we want to be today? Let's be the Poppers, let's be the Love and Spoonful. And you can hear it in the music. And it's so much fun just to go in there and to take that inspiration from your peers and then to turn it around and maybe put it in a different context or play a different song from that same artist. But it really is. Like DJs are like musicians. They look for each other for inspiration. I was listening to Henry Rollins' show. I'm a fanatic. And
I love Henry.
Exactly. Just some amazing stuff. And we don't tune in all the time, but man, DJs bust their ass to present the best music that they're most passionate about at any given time.
But see, now you are a DJ. You are busting your ass.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And you guys have earned it. You guys are awesome. And everybody I know who listens to your show says, I can't believe how wonderful they are.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much, because it's so much hard work and we love it. And we know what it's like to get obsessive about your show, and it consumes us. Like, I love it. It really is.
That romantic show is just brilliant.
Thank you. That was one of those things. It's like we didn't want to do new wave. No, it had to be new romantics. Like we wanted to get very
How to do the
specific.
dance.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, there's a
So yeah, we had so much fun watching, like getting the BBC has the best documentaries. You get on YouTube and start watching. They've got there's like 4 or 5 different new romantic documentaries over the decade. And they're obsessive about that. They're so good about that.
I've shown up on video before that I found searching YouTube with my high school, with my little.
No way. Oh, that's
Wow.
great.
I am older. So, I mean, you know, I was on a dance show called Dance Party, and I had this little Target shirt on.
Oh,
And
no
I
cool.
was
way.
doing a little new romantic dance with my little cut hair with all spiky on top.
Oh, that's wild.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
That is
and people
amazing.
still bring it up today going, oh my God, Gidget, you're such a dork.
They just wanted to be you. That's all.
You know who I was on the show
Yeah.
with? I was on the show with this really awesome girl named Dina. And Dina was like the head cheerleader at my high school. And she went off to marry Clint Eastwood.
No
Whoa.
way.
Yeah, and she was the nicest girl. She probably still is the nicest girl. She's not married to him
Aw.
anymore. He's like 140.
Well, yeah.
That's
He's
kind of wild.
138, I think, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And she's 2 years older than me. And her dad was my math teacher. So it's
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow. I love
and
that.
she was on the show with me. And there she is dancing with a little like striped top and fluffy
Mrs. Clint
contempo
Eastwood.
casual outfit.
Oh, Contempo.
Contempo. I remember from the 80s, right?
I love
wasn't
that
it-
he
I
remembers.
love that.
Well,
story.
hey, I was a mall kid.
That's-
Yeah.
at
Who-
the mall.
You were a
was
mall
it?
rat.
That's
Oh,
where-
totally.
yeah,
My
so
mom
that's
dropped us off at like as soon as the mall opened on
where all the
Sundays,
cute girls hung
12 to
out.
5, and I would
Yes.
go to the record store, the bookstore,
And then go look
record
at
store, the
Google
bookstore,
the girls
maybe
at
the toy
Contempo.
store, but maybe.
And then the girls would follow you around.
No. I was a nerd. I was just this nerd
We're
with a
all
Beatle
nerds,
haircut.
aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I'm still trying to make this connection. The connection isn't quite clear. So Clint Eastwood married a Contempo girl. I can't put 2 and 2 together.
There's a song title.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's still gorgeous. Her name is Dina Ruiz. She was the anchor woman in Carmel.
Ah, there's the
Wow.
connection.
Yeah. So, and my parents were friends with her parents and her parents' friends, and they all knew each other because it was like small area up in Fremont where I grew up.
Nice. So
Wow.
I have a question for you, Gidget. You mentioned that you inherited. I got my sister's record collection, right? Like a lot of us got our brothers and sisters' record collection, and later I got my brother's 8-track tape collection.
It's all right
we can
there.
Talk about. That's awesome. So, what kind of stuff did your mom? What kind of stuff did your
I got
mom?
I got my brother's record collection, most of it, and I got all of my mom's.
That's awesome.
She did keep a couple things, like a couple Burt Bacharachs.
Nice.
I got the Henry Mancini's, the Burt Bacharachs, the Dionne Warwicks,
Nice.
the David Bowies, the Andy Williams.
Nice.
Wait,
Herb
your mom had
Albert.
David Bowie?
Oh, my mom loved David Bowie.
Wow.
We had a cat named Ziggy.
Wow.
Nice.
Very
and then
cool.
my brother gave me his Beatles albums, Beatles
That's great.
singles, that concert for Bangladesh that always
Wow.
scared me as a kid, but now I think it's brilliant, but I couldn't look at it because of the kid on the front.
Hmm.
And my Sonny and Cher records, all of my Carpenters
Wow.
were all my mom's.
Yep.
The Herb Alberts are probably my most treasured out of all of them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Because you can put on Herb Albert, like, and I'm just like, da-da, da-da, da-da,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
and it's like that will cheer me up from anything.
Yeah.
And I was named
course.
after a Burt Bacharach song,
Okay.
not
Nice.
Gidget,
Not the one called Gidget.
not the one called Gidget.
Wow.
I was named after his daughter.
That is so cool. Fun
So if
fact.
anyone ever wants to look up his daughter's name,
Okay.
We will
We're
do
gonna do
that.
that. Write that down.
A little bit of reverse engineering to figure out what your real name is, Gidget. That's
Yeah.
cool.
There you Yeah.
it-
What do we win?
It's
Yeah.
a project for people.
Kidding.
long-term friendship for life. You already got that. I'll send you more hot sauce.
Yes.
That hot sauce.
So I've been dying to ask Lisa and Tom a question. This is the first time I've ever spoken with Tom, spoken with Lisa several times. How did you guys meet? Where did you guys meet?
This is a fun story, actually.
I knew it would be.
Yeah. So this is.
I mean, I have fantasies in my head of her being in a little genie bottle.
Yeah, of course.
Kind of. So I was in a band in Richmond that got signed.
This is the genie bottle.
There it is. and we got signed to a label called Time Bomb, which is an OC punk label. Well, not punk, we did all kinds of stuff. It was Mike Ness from Social Distortion and Jim Garino who signed.
Oh wow.
Who, the Gin Blossoms and Sheryl Crow and Blues Traveler. And so his label set him up with, I can't remember, he was on Sony or one of those labels, and they set him up with his own label, boutique label. And they signed us around 1998, and they had a really eclectic roster, and we were kind of like their pop thing. And so, we got signed, we put out a record, we toured, didn't really do so well. Label didn't last after that too much, but it was a cool label, and I fell in love with LA. So we came out here summer 2000. We played with the Cowsills at the El Rey and Maroon 5 before they were Maroon 5. But that's another story for another time. And then we, after we got dropped from our label went down, we decided to move out here in January of 2001. And our drummer, Mike McCormick, said, first night we're there, swear to God, hey guys, there's a really cool band. It's freaking, who was it that was?
You're everywhere that I'm not.
Yes, you were playing bass for Steve
Translator.
Martin. Yeah, exactly.
Oh
And
yeah, I love them.
They were playing at the Knitting Factory, and so we came out to see the show, and it was me and our drummer Mike and Ricky Tubb, the guitar player, and Lisa's up there with, as Ricky Tubb called it when we had our wedding. He did the speech because he's my best man. That she had the Pebbles hair. Was sticking straight up.
Just like Jeannie.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's right.
Oh.
It's cute.
And so Ricky, Mike, and I, we were all smitten with Lisa. We're like, holy yikes, she's amazing. She's a rock star. And I went up and nervously introduced myself to her afterwards. And she was like, I said, hey, I'm Tom in a band called The Waking Hours. She's like, oh, The Waking Hours? You guys made my top 10 list last year.
Oh,
and I was
wow.
like, very humbled. And we talked about stuff. And I said, who's your favorite band? And she goes, probably The Jam. And which is my favorite band next to the Beatles, probably. And we still love The Jam. We some nights, like about twice a year, we'll just watch Jam videos on YouTube.
And then we can't sleep
We
all
can't
night.
sleep the rest of the night. But yeah, we wrote the Bruce Foxton song together, celebrating the bass player of The Jam. But yeah, that's how we met. And pretty quickly, she got us our first show. You got us our first show.
How? Where?
At the place in the valley, like right over the hill off to the right in Studio City.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's
What's that place? Anyway, yeah, she got us our first show and
with lamp in it?
integrated us into the scene. And we asked her to join our band, and she said no.
I wasn't too many.
Right, exactly. Well, we actually walked out with this big sort of manifesto about why she should join.
They
The
took
Waking
me out
Hours.
to lunch.
We did,
They took
and we
me
shared the
somewhere-
manifesto. And she
Where
said
to?
no.
Someplace in the valley. Where was it? Where did I live? On Van Nuys.
Van Nuys.
I was working at a sporting goods store.
Yeah, that's right. We
Yeah.
My
gifted her
hometown.
away from her sporting goods store. She was the front desk receptionist.
Bosco.
So Lisa, you were working in Van Nuys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
my
my
hometown.
All right.
Yay. And my boss, I played drums in his band.
That's right,
Well,
Ken West.
Yeah, he wasn't the boss, but he was my boss. But yeah, that's funny. And you and I have talked about Van Nuys, and we all agree that it has the best restaurants.
Oh,
Yeah.
Banku Chicken, right there, right off the bat.
I don't
Good
honestly
chicken.
think I've ever been to Van Nuys before.
Oh, okay. That's going to be our outing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't cool when I grew up though. I grew up. When we're talking about age, I was the one who was silent because the oldest person on this call is always the one who's silent. But it wasn't really cool when I grew up. Although I found out later that I grew up maybe less than 2 miles from Sound City. I don't know
Right.
what I would have done with this information if I knew it at the time. But there was some cool underground stuff going on there.
Yeah. Great documentary about Sound City.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of stuff happened. I mean, music industry, movie industry, it's all in Van Nuys for sure. So
Yeah. Up in San Francisco, it was a lot different.
yeah, San Francisco, I mean, I was up in Berkeley for a few months. We recorded our album. We got the big record deal. We went to Fantasy Studios.
Oh wow.
In Berkeley, yeah.
Wow.
And fun fact, my big thing was that's where I think Vince Guaraldi might have recorded a lot of his stuff.
Oh.
Potentially. I could be
Really?
wrong about some of that, but he was on Fantasy Records. And I remember going into the mastering guy and say, hey, can you bust out some of those old masters and stuff? But
I think you're right. I think he did do them there.
Wow.
yeah. And so, yeah, and they did all the sound design. But at the same time, we were recording our record for Time Bomb. Carlos Santana was recording his big comeback album.
Wow.
And at the same time, and he came in, he was walking around the studios, and we'd all see him and be like very afraid, but he was really cool. He'd come up and say hi. He was really humble,
Oh,
like,
wow.
as you might expect,
And why do you think that was?
because he's just that cool. I mean,
No, but keep with the story.
all right. So anyway, so there's this one big weekend, and everyone's like, "Hey guys, don't walk around the halls too much because Clapton's coming in, and Dave
Oh,
Matthews is coming in. They're going to do their parts on his album." And so right before we go out to lunch, they come in and say, "Hey, Clapton is in there with Carlos, and they're trading licks right now, and we need a distortion pedal and a wah-wah pedal." And so Ricky had the wah-wah pedal, and I gave him my distortion pedal, which was a rat pedal, which is maybe not, it's a garage kind of sound. It's not like the Santana sound. And so sadly, they brought the pedals back, and they were like, Carlos loved the wah-wah, but Clapton didn't really dig the distortion pedal. So,
aw.
but we got pics, like in a little sign note from Carlos Santana saying thank you so much, and he
Aw.
introduced himself later to us and stuff, which was really cool. But no, I never met Clapton, but he hated my rat pedal.
Your
So I had-
pedal was rejected by Clapton. Wow.
Well, I mean, it's hard to tell. It didn't come directly from the source, but that's kind of the way I took it. Ricky might have a different take on the whole thing, but yeah.
I'm glad you got to meet Carlos, though. That's cool. He's a guy that I'd probably want to meet. And I don't really want to meet people at that level usually. I wouldn't even know
Yeah.
what to say, but Carlos just seems cooler than most.
Yeah.
He's one of those people I'm afraid to meet, though. I've walked by him a few times.
Okay. But
You have,
he has that spiritual sort of like, I almost want to say George Harrison, like there's that
Yep.
different kind of, I don't know, quality.
It's one
but
of
he-
those things. It's like people who visit San Francisco are always uptight, but the people who are in San Francisco and you see them walking around, they're always really nice to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you see their visitors and their visitors aren't. And you'd be like working in a bar and you'd be like one time I met George Wendt and he was a jerk,
Really?
but he was with some San Francisco local comedians and they were having a blast and they were really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, San Francisco's like home to like a lot of famous people who are just down to earth. Like look at
Yeah.
Robin Williams, down to
Oh,
earth.
yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
You
Totally.
know, Linda Perry. I used to see
Yeah.
her band play all the time, and she's so sweet in person. She's just a
Chris
really
Isaac.
nice person.
It's Isaac. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So no, I want to get back to that jam because I got all excited because I don't meet any other. I don't meet people, just jam fans, but people who are married who are jam fans.
Yeah, that was that when she said that, then I was like, hey, I really got
That's it.
to get to know Lisa. And then it wasn't until later. I think I want to say we were having dinner like later on, months later, and we were asking, you go around the table and say, hey, what's your birthday? And everyone's saying their birthday. And I just knew I had this deep down feeling that we were going to sync on some level, but not in a scary way, of course. But when she said July 25th, I was like, that's it. Okay, I'm done.
It's amazing.
Done.
And then we shared the years, and then he's like, I don't believe it.
Yeah,
Show me your driver's license.
yeah, exactly. I did.
That's amazing.
I carded her, basically.
So who's older? I mean, who was born first?
Well, if you factor in the time zone differences, because I was in
I'm-
Wisconsin and you were in California,
I'd still be older than,
it's like really close. It's like maybe an hour or two.
older than everyone.
No, it's minutes. It's a difference of minutes.
Wow.
But 2 time zones different. So, just
That's
you know.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So what is your favorite jam song? Because I judge people on this.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I really like that first album.
Yeah, if you'd asked me a long time ago, I would probably say It's Too Bad because I always loved that one. That was my initial favorite because it's very modern 60s.
Yeah.
But then later on, if you ask me again, it's Art School.
See, and for me, I like the more aggressive. Like I've changed my address.
Baby, 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 I changed my address. Right.
Today,
any-
I could just see him drooling. Like
Right.
he's just like. Blah,
You
blah,
watch
like,
those early
ah.
videos of the jam, and I don't know,
Ah.
I couldn't even have done that when I was 18. Like seriously, the amount of physical performance that all of them, Bruce Foxton could jump higher than anybody else. I don't
Yeah,
care.
That's true.
And he could do it 10 years ago when we saw him at the El Rey. And Paul Weller, man, just everything about him, his passion, his lyrics. He's a tough guy, but he's got a big heart. And that's what I always loved about him. He's got this really sort of tough exterior, but
I just love
inside,
him.
Yeah.
And mine is probably, of course, I love The Bitterest Pill. I
Oh
just do.
God, yeah, that's you
I'm,
know
I'm
what?
crushes me.
recording that with Norm Kelsey.
That's right.
Oh wow,
I've never heard a cover of it, so you'll have to send that to
There
me.
you
that's
go.
cool.
Well,
I've never heard any Jam covers, to be honest. I've heard them cover, but I've never heard anyone cover the Jam.
That's
But
about to
my-
change.
I
Yeah,
think my
that
two
is.
favorite songs would probably be Carnation and Pretty Green.
Pretty Green. Oh, I love it.
yeah.
What about Saturday's Kids? Come on. Saturday's Kids play one-armed bandits.
But you
They
know,
never win,
There's
but
something about being in high school and singing Pretty Green with your friends, you
Oh, I
know?
love that one.
And you're walking around and everybody's got their scooters and you got your little trench coat. I've got pockets full of Pretty Green.
No,
You
that
know?
was great.
But the Carnation
He is going to
just
shoot
breaks
you
your heart. I don't know anyone who can listen to Carnation without their heart being.
Oh, yeah. You know, he was onto something great. Those last tracks
Kitty.
and the stuff that he saved for Style Council, the early ones. he
I could have
was
said something really
fucking
dirty
magical.
there.
Oh, well, of course. Yeah. Never mind the person behind the curtain. But yeah, no, there's a real, you know, I really have initially when I first discovered the Jam, I was not really into like the Gift and records like that. It took a while to really sort of get into the last couple of records. But you're absolutely right. The Bitter's Pill.
Billy Hunt.
Yep,
We used to warm up with that one.
Yeah, Billy Hunt is a classic Paul Weller in your face kind of thing. But Solid Body Part, the Jam version of that is really, really good.
When they cover David Watts, they make it their own. I mean, you almost forget that it's a Kink song. It's like the Pretenders doing Stop Your Sobbin'.
Right. Oh God. Yeah.
that's
You know,
their
it's
own.
like when somebody takes a song and covers it and you forget that there was ever an original.
Yeah,
That is
that's-
David Watts.
Oh God.
And that is Paul Weller 100%. He took
Yeah.
a song that was ingenious about Ray selling his brother for 1,000, quid or whatever, and turned it into this great little Quadrophenia style song that nobody knew where it came from.
Wow.
Totally.
And
Yeah,
it wasn't a popular Kink song either. It's a creepy
at all.
Kink song.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite Jam album by chance? Because I know they're all have their strengths and weaknesses, but
It's one of those things where it depends on the time.
yeah, you're right.
Box set. That's
Box
my
set.
favorite.
Yeah,
Just
covers
kidding.
everything.
Direction.
Yeah, that's pretty much the one that's mostly played here. I would go for the box set.
Yeah.
Because I just want to just do it all on random and repeat.
And,
Yeah.
and Big Bird wasn't even included on that.
Dig the New Breed. Give some love for
Yeah.
Dig the New Breed, ladies and gentlemen. I love that. Those first three cuts where it starts off with In the City. I think it goes into Ahmad Khan's and In the Crowd, like back to back. It's just that slays. And I think it's been put out on CD, but I don't know if it's still in print anymore. But
I
Dig the New Breed.
I got in an argument once with our little friend Rodney once, and I hung up on him. And the next day, I got a FedEx package, and it was sound effects. And I called him and I said, nobody else would know in the world to cheer me up by sending me this.
Wow.
I didn't do it. I still can't prove he did it except for the K-Rock logo.
Oh.
Pretty sure it was him.
And
That
he
sounds like something
He knew that was one of those things that would just cheer me up.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Because there's only maybe one or two bands that I love more than the Jam.
Who are they?
Yeah. The Clash.
Love the Clash.
I'm a very big Clash fan, and the
Same
Damned.
here.
I'm a very big Damned fan.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good choices.
yeah. Mike, what's your favorite?
Oh, it's going to be Clash, Elvis Costello, The Who, probably those, and then all the indie folks I play. It's just kind of coming together in a big stew anymore. But I think it was The Who and then Elvis Costello. Just that fury when I was a teenager and angry young.
When I was
college
growing
man.
up, it was always the Ramones, the Clash, and the Jam. But as I
Yeah.
got older, the Ramones are just kind of a novelty to me. As much as I love them,
Yeah.
it's still a novelty to me. It's not like a favorite.
Well, I have Ramones mania, and that's really all that you need. I mean, it's all there, really.
I still play them all the time.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
when I grew up, I had heard of all these punk bands before I actually heard them. And when I finally heard them, my assessment was the Sex Pistols weren't as good as I thought they'd be.
I hated them.
The Ramones were quite a bit better than I thought they would be. And the Clash were just transcendent. They were just above everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I really could not stand the Sex Pistols. I thought it was all trying to sell the kids something that we didn't.
It was.
need.
it was hype that inspired a lot of people.
They had good
Yes.
clothes.
And
That's
that is the
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
to remember, because they really did light the fire. And I know if you go back and listen to them, you put it in the context of the time. There's a lot of records that Sgt. Pepper's might be one of those that in the context of the time, it blew everybody's mind, and it's still really awesome. But you know, Sgt. Pepper's has maybe lost some of the sheen from the medals over the years. I still think it's great, but you always used to be like #1 on all the album charts, it's now like in 40s and 50s, and Revolver's like up in the top 5. Which I agree with. I mean, that or the American Rubber Soul is always going to be my go-tos, or Hard Days, not even. But
I don't trust people who don't like the Beatles. They're not my favorite, but you have to at least like them.
We know.
I've known some people that hate them, but you know,
I know people that hate them too, and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, and I get it. You know, it's like certain bands that maybe their best friend liked growing up, and you know, for whatever reason, it maybe left a bad taste. Like,
But it's kind of like high school. Everybody has to argue about it.
Yeah.
It's like here's my slam book. Write your favorite Beatles song. You know, and
The
Right.
Beatles are kind of like the free square in the bingo card. Like when I've interviewed people, most of them say, well, besides the Beatles, I grew up liking
Right.
this. So they're the free square. They're even the Zydeco bands I've interviewed, they say, well, it's the Beatles and everybody else.
I grew up on the Beatles with my brother.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say I always enjoyed the B-sides more than I enjoyed their actual records.
Oh yeah.
Like I'll Get You is one of my
Oh
all-time favorite
God.
songs.
Yeah. Thank you. That is, and Thank You Girl. Like a couple of those early B-sides are just, maybe they thought they were throwaways. I don't know, but I'll Get You is always
The best stalker song in the world, almost as good
Yeah.
as Love You Till Tuesday.
Oh God.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Elusive Butterfly. I mean,
Yeah,
I could do a
you know
show
about
on stalker stuff alone, you know?
Oh God. Yeah.
How many
That
police songs would you have on that list? There's a couple right
None.
there.
I cannot stand the police.
But
All
they
right.
have the Ultimate Stalker song.
They do, but I cannot stand them.
They do. All right. So I'll confess, I'm a Police fan, but you have to keep in mind that in Richmond, Virginia in 1981, you didn't get a whole lot of music. Like there were no cool radio stations, and you didn't have MTV quite yet, so you couldn't get tuned into that. It was like 1980, 81. And I remember wearing a Police t-shirt to middle school, or when I was in 9th grade, and almost getting beaten up for that. So you have to understand, I say Richmond, but I grew up in the outskirts. Like it was back then, it was farm country, Midlothian.
Yeah, Fremont was the same way. I had a police shirt. I saw the Flesh Tones and the police at like Oakland Coliseum.
Yeah,
But,
nice.
You know, but it's like one of those things. It's like they were good then.
Yeah.
And then
they
Sting
were.
opened his mouth and started talking, and I turned off. It's
Well, that's it.
When I can destroy. Oh, there's this great moment. I've been reading this I Want My MTV book, which is hilarious. And there's this great moment where, you know, Stuart and Andy are like picking on Sting because he's primping himself in front of the mirror before video shoot. And Sting is like, and he's like, his comeback is, if you haven't noticed, it's my job. It's probably yours too.
I met Stuart once for like 2 seconds.
No
But
way.
I met his brother, and his brother was a jerk.
Miles. Oh yeah, I've seen
record
video.
label
Yeah,
guy.
he's
I
a
was at
real
work,
manager
And he bought
type.
stuff at the bar for me, and I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you make millions and you're not going
Right.
to tip me. I said that out loud.
Wow. Yeah. No. God bless you for that. That's awesome.
I mean, millions. And he
I've
didn't
seen
tip
that
me.
guy in action, not only in movies and stuff. And there's like the scene in the Sting movie where he leaves the police, and he's like, they're talking about how he negotiates how much each member of the band's going to get. He's like, how much are you expecting to get from this gig? Well, how much is on the table? You have to understand, it's not your table. This is Sting's table.
Oh my gosh.
It's in the movie, like it's Bring on the Night, whatever that. I saw it in the
Yeah.
theater. Like I was a big Police fan.
Wow.
Like I was 13. I saw Stuart Copeland play drums and Keith Moon at the same time, literally on the same
Whoa.
day. And I said, that's what I want to
I
do.
had a crush on Stewart, so I did
Oh
see
yeah,
them.
he's cool. I love that guy. I mean,
And
he's
the
funny.
stuff that he did
smart ass.
with what's his name in Walla Voodoo.
Oh yeah, Stan
Oh,
Ridgway.
Stan, yeah.
Yeah.
Box Me In and all that.
Yeah. I love that.
I love that stuff.
I do too.
And then that the tour that I saw him on with his weird little band, the Animal Band. I don't remember what it was called. It was a Mychols put together thing.
Wow.
And
wait.
I worked it.
So Mychols Copeland was doing IRS, and well, he was managing a lot of the bands that were on IRS, which I think Buzzcocks were included, probably.
Mhm.
Go-Go's, possibly he might have managed them. I'm not sure if they were part of his stable or not, but he had a whole stable of bands. And I remember the Animals did put out, I think they put out something on Iris as well, but they had that big comeback album around 1981 with The Night Is Always So Long. I can't, anyway, I'm just throwing
I
that
don't
right out
remember
there.
that.
I thought they might have done something with Iris, but I could be wrong. But anyway, Miles Copeland. Yeah.
Wow.
He's a
Sure.
piece of work.
I remember at a
That's
friend's.
why you don't meet people that you love.
Right, exactly. I
That's
remember
true.
watching some kind of police reunion documentary a few years ago at a friend's house, and it was interesting watching Stewart give Sting all sorts of crap, and I'm thinking he's the only person on the planet that can probably do this. And
do it,
Andy
get
was
away
just
with
sitting in the corner, very quiet, and I'm thinking, he's probably thinking, I'm the real sound of this band. Probably.
You know what? Andy Summers is he was around back in the 60s. He was a little bit older, calmer,
Yeah.
been through it. But his guitar playing, Stewart was an incredible drummer. Like regardless of whether he liked the police or not, he had a really unique sound. And so did Andy Summers. Like he really was an innovator.
I think
Yeah.
they were so much better without that singer.
Well, I didn't appreciate when Sting turned every police song into a smooth jazz tune 10 years later. That just didn't work for me.
But you know who it did work for? It worked for Todd Rundgren doing it.
Ah.
He did a jazz album and he did a lot of songs like Dream Goes On Forever.
Well,
and-
there's jazz and there's smooth jazz, two different genres.
Right. Yeah, smooth jazz is a whole different thing. Once you bust out the soprano sax and do the Kenny G thing, we're in trouble.
But
Yeah.
Kenny G's actually a really nice guy.
That's
I've
good.
seen him in interviews. He is a really nice guy.
He
You're
just
right.
sucks musically.
He did that one
Sucks
Guinness
me up.
World
Right.
Record. He did some circular breathing. He held a note for 45 minutes. And then I think that was his next album after that, pretty much.
Yeah.
What?
Well, okay. That second part may not be true.
I used to see him in Seattle all the time and he was just a really, really nice guy.
I believe that. I remember seeing
can
him on
appreciate
some
that.
show, and I just thought he just seems like the sweetest,
I'd
down
like
to earth, coolest guy.
I'd like to
So-
see him play with the Jam.
Some of those guys
That
who
would
put out
change
those records,
his style a little bit, probably.
some of those guys who put out records who were total nerds and dorks. Like, you had Michael Bolton, who did that stuff with Lonely Island. He turned out to be kind of cool.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
then there was Richard Marx married the hot girl from MTV.
Yeah.
I've
And I
heard he's a
heard
pretty
really
cool
nice
guy,
guy.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard very cool. Yeah.
And the guys in one of my favorite bands that people make fun of me for, Air Supply. They all are covered with tattoos and colored hair, and they were all in a punk band and decided to just make some money by making easy listening.
All right, so now I got to go back and check out their story, their backstory, because that's good. I mean, they
were all in musical theater and stuff, and they're married with kids and stuff.
Wow,
that's awesome.
Which
I will
surprises
definitely check
people.
that out.
I love that yacht rock thing.
Hey, don't get me started.
I love it. There's a yacht rock station on 70 on Sirius.
I'm telling you.
Hey, have you ever seen a rock? What was it, the documentary thing? The yacht rock videos on YouTube.
Oh, the ones with Kenny Loggins and
no,
playing their.
You have to see it if you haven't checked it out. It's yacht rock.
I think Kenny Loggins is kind of hot.
Yeah, hey, Kenny Loggins is definitely and he is the main character. You will love this, Gidget. Yeah. No, it's Loggins and Messina are kind of like the central characters, but mainly it's all about the Loggins. And it's like all of the players of yacht rock, right? And it's all done very independent style around probably Marina Del Rey or somewhere up in thereabouts. But yeah, it's all about Kenny Loggins and how the yacht rock scene evolves over the course of 9 episodes.
Ridiculous.
And I can't even get into all the details, but you just have to see it for yourself because it's that good. And it's totally like,
I'm going to admit I'm a dork. Kenny Loggins has one of the best lines in a song where he wants to have the girl who holds the world in a paper cup. Is that like the most romantic thing ever?
Yeah.
I want to be the girl who holds the world. It's like, okay, going back to that water boys thing, when he says, I pictured a rainbow and you held it in your hand. That's romantic to me. And when I was 17, I saw him sing that. That kind of stuff sticks with me and I'm a dork.
No.
And then I get all blurry.
That's beautiful. Beautiful.
And then sometimes it just makes people go, yeah.
Because maybe they've never listened to it with the right pair of ears. It's like people have their prejudices about things. And it's like one of my friends that I grew up with who hated the Beatles. It's like his older brother's a huge Beatles fan. And that's all he heard growing up. So he had to do everything he could to distance himself from that. And, that was his thing. He did admit he liked 1 or 2 songs.
And there have been times where like I think I was obsessed with something and you didn't like it. And then like a few years later, it's like, I actually really like this now. It's just like, but the first time it just didn't rub you right.
Yeah, we won't go into details there,
but I gave it to him for his
there were
birthday.
some things
I was
that
like,
right. There's some things that, you know,
you don't appreciate my
I
gift.
might have, my initial experience might not have been good, but then after repeated listenings, being
Yeah,
assaulted.
but
I told her to cover an ABBA song and she
Hey.
didn't laugh at me.
Hey, there you go.
I could hear that.
I totally think that you guys as a team should cover Drift Away.
Oh, all right. That could happen.
It's written by Paul Williams' brother.
Oh,
All right. Now
okay.
that I did not know until tonight.
Mentor Williams, Paul Williams' tall brother.
Wow.
Mentor is a great name too.
And he was married to Lynn Williams, who did I Never Promised You a Rose Garden.
Wow.
Oh, Lynn Anderson.
Lynn Anderson, I'm sorry. She's
Who I
married
think
to
is
him, so
from-
she's really a Williams, but
Right. And I think Lynn Anderson is from Fair Oaks, California, just outside
Yes.
Sacramento.
There you go.
see, I
Moved
know
to
the Dorothy
Nashville.
stuff. You know, when I do my radio shows, I always tell people, especially like when I'm playing some of Lisa's covers, to not just listen to it, but to listen to it with your heart, because there's a reason these people choose the songs to do. And I said that when I did your birthday stuff. You have to listen. It's like doing the wonderful Reverend Al, you know, I mean, you have to hold it in your heart and listen to it as the person is singing it and how they're feeling it. And if you're not crying when you're done, then you're not really listening to it.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
beautiful. I love that.
there's only two people in the world that I will listen to cover Al Green, and that's Lisa and Charlene from Texas.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are the only two covers of Al I will play. That's it. Hands
And
down.
that's why Gidget is literally my favorite DJ on the station. I'm not even in my top 5 DJs on
But
Woody
I
Radio.
don't DJ anymore.
But when you do, I listen. I mean, Gidget says stuff like that all the time. She'll say something that's just totally, wrong, off, just off, and then she'll come back with something so profound. It's like, she got me again every single time. That's Gidget.
I look for things that are different because I'm a very visual person, and I try to tie all my visual stuff in with my oral. So I want to look at the lyrics sometimes. And so I want to look at them while I'm listening to them in my head, like see them in my head going over and over and over again, because that's what's important to me. Because if I want to listen to instrumental, I can just go put on a back rack record.
Yeah.
But when I'm listening to a song, I want to feel what the person is that wrote it.
Yeah.
You know,
No, that's beautiful.
I used to put on records and I would create, we didn't have headphones, so I had to be by the speaker, and I would have all these songs in my head memorized with the whole storyline. Like I live in that place through music, and I just invent stories through the music.
Did you dance with a little like a brush in your hand when you were a little kid?
No, I did the tennis racket guitar though.
That's awesome.
I can't sing to save my life. I'm awful, but there were
Tennis
a lot
racket's
of
a lot easier to play than a real guitar. Fun fact.
Or a hairbrush. Or
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
yeah. I had a
But hey,
hairbrush.
what about you, Mike? Did you ever?
Yeah. Good question. Let's put Mike on the spot.
Oh yeah.
Do you have
Well, I'll tell you,
eardrums?
not much of a singer, but I can carry a tune under pressure. And interestingly enough, across the street, which would be in that direction, this older couple used to live there. They used to live in Hawaii, and they owned a bar, and so they had great karaoke equipment. And the wife was a great bartender, and we went over there for a Halloween party a few years ago, and she made me the single best margarita I had ever had up to that point.
Nice.
Moments later, I performed karaoke for the first time in my life. Coincidence? I think not.
Not going to happen with me.
And my other neighbor was singing Elvis Presley's In the Ghetto. And at that point, I decided he needed some female backing vocals, and that's where I jumped in.
Yeah, the call and response. You got to
Love
pull
it.
that in.
I was the response.
Oh,
I
nice.
will admit that I'm tone deaf. It isn't going to happen. I can't play any instruments. I
Man.
played piano till I was 14. It ain't going to happen.
Aw.
It's not going to.
What about karaoke? Would you ever do it like at your friend's house or in front
You
of
need a
wants to hear
margarita.
it. Nobody wants to hear it. It's just that bad.
I had the ultimate compliment. Amber said that I wasn't half bad. And that's actually quite a big compliment because she's
Did
an
she
actual
have a
singer.
Okay.
All right. So
It's
Mike,
good.
And she doesn't drink.
If you type out the lyrics in chat, though, it's the same as karaoke.
yeah, good point.
Exactly the same.
Like I like to terrorize people in my chat room and start typing out all I need is a little more time to be sure what I feel, and type it out in long things.
Yeah. Celebrate the lyrics.
Yeah. That song drives everyone nuts. So I like to do that to people.
Beautiful song. That's a beautiful song.
I think it's Jack Wagner. He's hot. It doesn't matter if it's a good song.
Hey, you got me. What about what made you pick In the Ghetto, Mike Lidskin?
I like Elvis, but that was my neighbor's choice. He started singing it. That's why I decided he was lacking something, and what he was lacking was me doing the female backing vocals.
Got it.
I'm more of a hunka burnin' love kind of guy myself, and I know how Gidget feels about Elvis. Elvis is not, so she's not going to ever want to hear any of this.
Convinced he smells like pee.
What about
well, you know what?
Elvis?
Yeah,
Movie
so
Elvis?
I'm gonna go. There's different Elvis fans. I grew up with the Elvis movies playing on my local syndicated station, and I thought, to me, Elvis, and I respect, the Sun Sessions, absolutely beautiful, and I respect the Memphis stuff from '69.
But those movies are brilliant, aren't they?
They are brilliant, and the music is so over the top. Like, seriously, I want to do a whole Elvis movie show because I'm a massive fan. I have all the soundtracks.
Totally.
I went to the Cocoa Palms in Hawaii and like stood out there.
Nice.
That is a bit larger than life.
I have not yet done that yet, and I want to do that. But to me, the movie stuff, he had fun. Like, I've read 30 plus Elvis books. I'm fascinated by his story. And it really is like, like the Cinderella story, like the Beatles story. It's almost too magical to be true.
Yeah.
But I love the soundtracks are so much fun. And some of the songs are just crazy over the top fun. And I don't know. I love it. I really love it. And I want to do a show maybe around, January, February.
I used to do a rockabilly show with Polytone Records.
Nice.
That's cool.
Nice.
And I had to play a lot of Elvis, but I played a lot of like, older stuff like Gene Vincent and Wayne Eddy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We worked with Polytone Records when we first started. We had a whole couple hours, and she would just give us. She was the only woman who owned a rockabilly label.
Wow.
Val Bird.
Wow,
she's on our
awesome.
Woody Radio page if anybody ever looks. And
tribute.
Her boyfriend was Screaming Lord Sutch.
No way.
70s. Wow.
So she was this amazing woman to talk to. So we did rockabilly with her. And she loved Elvis. So I would always play Elvis for her. And that's how I became friends with Dickie Harrell from the Gene Vincent band, the drummer.
Nice.
He's such a nice guy. And he's on Facebook. And if you add him, he'll add you back and talk to you.
Oh,
like
wow.
He'll call you on the phone if you're really lucky and talk to you for 7 or 8 hours.
All right. That's incredible.
It is incredible.
Such a nice guy. And, but my favorite Elvis movie is Bubba Hotep.
Oh, don't get me started. Seriously, like I dragged Lisa and Ricky, the guitar player from the Waking Hours, out to, I can't remember, it was one of the iconic movie theaters on Melrose or one of those, old movie theaters, the opening night. And I was like, you guys, you just got to trust me in this. We got to go see Bubba Hotep. And no. I haven't seen it in a long time. I watched it again.
Oh my God, it's been about 5 years for me.
It's so great. You got John F. Kennedy and Elvis battling,
Ossie Davis is John F. Kennedy.
I know.
With sand.
That exactly. Oh my God.
Big bugs.
Yeah.
I will admit I'm not a very starstruck person, but I did kind of drive by Bruce Campbell's house.
Hey,
it's in Jackson something, Oregon, and I found out where it was, and so we drove by it. And so that's a little stalkerish.
Hey,
there's a
if you only drove by once,
and
it's
I can't
okay.
get within 100
you
feet
didn't
of
climb
him.
the
No.
wall,
He circled.
Frozen pizza or anything like that.
He circled, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love him so much, and that is his best role. I mean, that's even better than his Evil Dead stuff.
Yeah.
No. His best role is playing Ronald Reagan in Fargo.
Oh wow.
He's good at it. If you've never seen the first season of Fargo where he does that.
I haven't yet. I love the movie. We have to see the movie. Absolutely. But the show comes highly recommended from several of my friends. We have not seen it yet. So yes, that's on the radar.
They filmed the last season out here off Route 66. And I took Maya and we took pictures where they filmed stuff.
Wow.
She loves that kind of stuff. And so we drove around all the way down to Normal, Illinois and took pictures because I'm a huge fan of the TV show and the movie.
Nice. Yeah. Love the movie. I mean, I haven't seen the TV show yet. Heard it's amazing. But yeah, Jerry Lindegaard, William H. Macy, that whole
Ooh,
character.
I love him.
Oh, we do too. And that's one of my favorites next to Pleasantville, where, he kind of plays similar characters in both. Honey.
I feel so
where's your
bad,
dinner?
all the stuff that he's gone through with his wife, because
I know.
he's
Yeah.
such a nice guy.
It's got to be tough.
It's got to be. And I feel really bad for him. But, it's just, that movie is brilliant. But, I did a bad thing. I was so upset that I got a snow globe from Fargo for Christmas. I was so upset that it cost so much money. That I thought that my family could use the money instead. So I returned it to Tower Records and bought them all albums.
Aw.
Because it was like $100. And I just thought, why would my family spend $100 on me on a snow globe? So
you could buy a bunch of really cool records.
Yeah, I bought them all vinyl. So, and we got that Slayer album with the Kurt Cobain autopsy photo.
Oh, geez.
Probably worth a lot of money now.
Yeah, I bet.
So I can't feel too bad, but
you know what? It's all energy, and you just put it in different places. And it came from a good place, and you put it in a good place.
Well
hey,
said.
why haven't I known you guys for years? We could have been seeing movies, doing music.
Yep.
You guys have been like hiding down there like hermits.
In plain sight.
And it's like I've been playing Lisa for so long, and I've been playing Tom for so long, in two separate things. And then I meet you guys and find out that you're married to each other. I didn't even know that, even though I had sent a baby gift.
We're entertainers, and we have our public persona to keep up. No, we're
That's
just,
it.
We're just, I don't know. And to me, all that stuff, family is sacred, and the public public and personal life for me are kind of two different things, but
I have my private profile.
Yeah.
And then I have the persona, and I'm still private on both.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
My boys don't want to be on Facebook.
Yeah, I hear you, right there. It's like, yeah, I don't know. There's a little bit of both. And our good friends in the Dolly Rots, like I love how they just embrace it, and they bring it into the whole thing. Like I love it. Like they've got this beautiful balance of how I think they take their kids out on tour and everything. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, Maya was on their street team when she was 12. So she went to see them on her 25th birthday. She's 27 now. And her birthday's a couple days before yours. And she was at the Vans tour, and they just handed her to the kids. She's like, geez, rock stars hand me kids. What's up with that?
They are, seriously.
It's awesome.
Kelly and Louise are like probably the coolest rock stars.
I love them.
Next to Paul and Linda, probably. I'm going to go out there and say that. Just beautiful people. I'll never forget, we were playing at Zen Sushi back in 2003 or something like that.
Silver Lake,
right? Before anybody was big and stuff. And Lewis lent me his guitar pedals, because something happened with mine. I forgot mine or something like that. And it was the night that I was doing the windmills, and I cut my hand.
Oh, no.
Blood
yeah.
and stuff. And
you wiped him on the white.
Yeah.
That's a very Pete Townsend thing to do in every respect.
Yeah.
He would have done all that.
And I think some of the blood had spilled on, a little bit on the pedals. And Lewis was so cool. He's like, he had this little thing. He's like, Tom, don't worry about it, man. We got this. And I helped him, whatever.
I have a story about that. I have a story after you're done.
All right, I'm done.
I did that with fake blood, and it went into Darian's keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
What's that?
It was at a Paul Williams tribute thing. I had done Old Souls, and I busted out this fake knife, and I pretended to cut my arm.
Spaceland, right?
Yeah. And I did it, and I was squeezing this blood out so I could have this full effect, right? And a little of it got in. I didn't know, a little got into Darian's.
It's one of my favorite songs, favorite movies.
Oh,
I
God.
love that movie. We'll have to do a pajama party sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you we have to cosplay Swan in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Because I'm short enough to be Paul Williams. I'm still taller than him, probably, but not by much. Not by much. No, but yeah, the Dolly Rots, they are one of my favorite rock and roll families out there. Because I mean, they really just put it out there. But I didn't even know they were married at first.
Yeah.
They kept that under wraps.
I love the little promo they did with the bunny that knocks on the door. We have a special, I was like, what the heck? Why is there a furry? Is that what they call them? Some people have.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys, I'll tell you a funny
people.
thing about my cosplay, and you guys will laugh about this. In fact, later on tonight, you'll think about
Good.
this and you'll laugh again. I Our first year we did Woody Radio at a Comic-Con. We broadcast at this Comic-Con.
Nice.
And I needed to dress up, and I said, I'll do something musical. So I dressed like B-Girl. You know, and I was walking around.
Blind Melon, yeah.
You know, and furries loved me. I couldn't get rid of them. They were following me everywhere, thinking I was one of them.
Oh.
And I couldn't get them to leave my photo booth. I couldn't get them to leave the Woody Radio booth.
Wow.
Everywhere I looked, there's a furry. Here a furry, there a furry, everywhere a furry. You know? And then I realized, oh my God, they think I'm one of them.
Wow.
How did it?
For a moment.
Did you finally just?
I know. I just kind of went, here's Woody Radio's page if you guys want to come and visit it sometime. See you later. Bye-bye.
So you didn't want to play along.
No, that was good.
No.
Well played.
No.
Hey, you know what? We've been having such a fun, intimate conversation. I forget there's people watching this. Why don't you guys, Lisa and Tom, tell everybody where they can find out more about your music, purchase it.
We know who they
all
are.
that good
Nobody else
stuff.
does.
Well, yeah. No, we need to share them with the world. They're not just ours. Come on, Gidget.
Aw. Well, we're DJs at
LuxuriaMusic.com.
yeah, with our show called 54321
That's right. Sundays 4 to 6
M
p.m. PT Pacific time.
or PST.
7 to 9 Eastern,
Right, 7. Oh, I'm sorry, 4 to 6. Yeah, 7 to 9 Eastern. Thank you.
and then 6 to 8 Central Time.
Central. And then
If you're in
Mountain Time.
Chicago.
And then if
Mountain
you're,
would be 5 to 7.
But there's only one guy that lives in Mountain Time, so we'll just let him know.
Yeah, he's our server owner, so you know.
Yeah.
All
We have
right,
to let him know.
midnight in the UK.
midnight in the UK.
Wow.
7 hours ahead. Wait, it's more than that because it's
It's 8 hours ahead of
8
Pacific.
hours ahead.
Depends on
Oh, it
daylight
is. You're right.
savings
It's
too.
midnight. It's midnight. Yeah, it's midnight.
So we're doing that, and then
We have music coming out with 7 and 6. We just put out an EP.
Oh, sweet.
with
And you
a
guys just
bonus
had that
track.
gig.
Yeah, we got that. We just played a gig at the Redwood with our good
Nice.
friends.
Yeah.
The Reflectors, which
Yeah.
is the best power pop band in LA for our money. That currently exists. We love them. And then we also have stuff going on with Super 8. You just did Don't Worry Baby for the Brian Wilson tribute for Gem Records.
yeah. And so
You
we're
just put out a video.
about to head back into the studio to finish up an album that's going to be released next year.
on
So
Gem
Nice.
Records.
there's a lot of work ahead.
Yeah.
And
no,
then you have all your solo stuff that you guys do.
Yep.
yeah. So,
And now we've got those two Hollywood Halloween songs.
oh yeah,
because
thank
of-
you.
Because of
Yeah,
this.
you guys inspired us to do a Halloween thing.
Yeah, so you just put more work on our plate.
Thank you
which-
very much.
I don't know
Well,
if you guys can see this. I'm trying to
So good.
let my camera pick it up so I can show the picture. No, it's not picking it up.
It's the background
there we
that's
go.
kind of messing it up.
Almost.
I think because it's blending in with the color.
It says, I took it in my car today. Don't worry, baby.
That's right.
I
Lisa
saw that.
Mychols and Super 8
That's
Yay.
right.
at 5:35 today.
Really cool track on the Gem Records Brian Wilson tribute. Just lots of great artists on there.
It was
Really,
brilliant. I had it cranked up.
so many great bands on
I
there.
was driving in the middle of nowhere listening to it.
Yeah.
Aw, better than Seasons in the Sun.
Yeah, a lot better.
Yes.
I may have passed a cemetery while it was on though, but I don't.
Aw,
There is
No.
one on that route.
No, don't worry, baby.
don't worry.
Exactly. Everything will turn
Nice,
out
Mike. That was good.
very well.
That
It was
good.
brilliant, and my
Okay.
son let me keep it on, and it was great.
Wow.
Yeah, he turned off his YouTube for a couple seconds and listened.
Wow.
All right.
That's
So-
the seal of approval right there.
There you go.
Yeah, and you've got the Checkered Hearts thing.
Yep.
And people can go to
Writing.
checkeredhearts.com.
Yep.
And are you doing any solo records, Tom?
There's one other project she's actually working on.
Is it the soundtrack?
Well, she wrote a book, right? It's a novella, or I don't know how
It's
you.
a novella.
Yeah, probably a novelette, but it's a really cool book, and we're doing a soundtrack for that, which will be out next fall.
Love
But
that.
there's also this thing. Am I allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, you can talk about.
Yeah, so there's this thing that we've been working on for a few months now, called FB Eyz.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
we
it's
couldn't.
it's a new wave duo.
I was trying to get that name on our Facebook page, but I
Right.
think Facebook was trying to say, "Are you saying your Facebook?"
And
it
we're really
wouldn't let me
excited.
take
It's
it.
new
Sorry.
romantic synth pop.
Wow.
Right. And we have a single slated for spring of 2022 called Planet of Tenderness. So
Nice.
just putting that one out there, it's going to be synth pop, new romantic.
And then we have
early
that
80s.
B-side.
Yeah, the B-side, of course, which is a cover of the Talismans, relatively unknown early 80s, mid 80s, new wave, new
Mhm.
romantic band from around the LA
Wow.
area
And that one we've already
called
started.
Success. Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool track.
I'm
So, yeah,
all in on that. I can't wait to hear that.
You
I
know,
think it's gonna be pretty cool.
I'm going to make you guys laugh here because when, Lisa's got a lot of covers under her belt that she's done that are just absolutely brilliant. And they're all over The Secret Weapon. They're all over my show. They're all over Woody Radio in general. How did you do the Electro Woman and Dinah Girl?
Oh, this
Yeah.
is good.
Because that's a long one. That's old, isn't it?
Yeah, super old. So yeah, there was, well, I guess it is good. You're right, because that was going to be a show they were going to bring back.
Yeah, with
And-
Marky Post, right?
Yeah, and they
Oh.
made the pilot. It was amazing. Oh my gosh, she's this trailer park woman, and she's like giving up on life. And Dinah Girl comes in and it's up there on YouTube. But
I
yeah,
played
so,
it. I don't know if the Weapon plays it, but I've played it.
uh,
And I know Guy plays it.
It's
that
such a
was
great
so
track.
much fun. But the day we went over to celebrate that the show was going to come out, I didn't know that's not what we were at Marky Post's house for. And I got to meet one of the creators. I can't remember which one, but he liked the song. And so I'm sitting there in the kitchen and someone goes, "Wow, it's a shame they didn't pick up the show." And I'm just like, what? And like all these people are here to celebrate. It's like, why are we just hearing this? I was so sad, but we all gathered around and watched the pilot and all said goodbye, and that was it.
Oh,
wow.
because it's so awesome.
Yeah, at least the song still exists. So
Hey,
yay.
and thanks for spinning it too. That's a really
Thank
cool
you.
track that
Yeah.
really
I love
is
it.
a lot bigger than.
Yeah, and that was the Masticators. and-
Yeah.
Oh,
I
God.
laugh at that name because I don't know what a masticator is, but it's really hard to say without
Well,
laughing.
It's like,
This
Chewing.
DJ,
yeah, chewing, yeah.
It
Like
was
in the
a,
Ruddles movie.
but it was
mouse
a DJ.
masticated.
Oh, I can't remember his name. Do you remember the DJ? My sister dated him. He
Oh,
was on,
yeah. The guy from the talk show,
yeah, a
Yeah.
famous talk show, and I can't remember
Kate.
his name. Kate.
something or other.
Yeah, it was
One of those.
AM. It was AM talk radio. So like he was super like all the time on the radio, like during rush hour, his show was on. And he had a show just all about masticating. And callers would call him and go, "Well, I masticate all the time and I can't stop," and it just became this really funny show. And I'm so sorry, I can't remember his name. So I was like, that's our name.
There you go.
I don't even know what a masticator really is, though.
One who chews.
Yeah.
One who chews. That's
Chews
it.
together.
Masticating is chewing. That's it.
It was just
That's
to
it?
plan words.
But
and
it
one of
sounds
our-
like something else.
Yeah, and one of our stickers was masticate before you swallow. So
Right.
genius.
Well, I love it because you brought that up when we were listening to Luxuria a couple weeks ago, and they had one of our friends, Joe Dana, and he was talking about where they got their band's name. And in Southern California, you go to a car dealer, Cal, right? And he's still around.
If you
Go
want
see
a
Cal.
car or truck, go see Cal. If
Go see
you need a
Cal.
car or
Yeah, he was
truck,
up here
go see Cal.
too.
Right.
I had a dog
exactly.
named Spot. Well, actually, it was a cat.
Right.
Actually, it was a rhinoceros.
Right.
Yeah.
So they got their band name from that, but it was how you heard things like when you heard Jimi Hendrix say, "Excuse me, or Kiss the Sky," right? So
Yeah.
they got him with Pussy Cat.
I thought it was
And-
Pussycat.
Oh, that's Mike
Yeah.
Mike Schnee. Mike Schnee.
Exactly.
Him
yes.
too?
Yeah.
I
So,
love Cal Worthington, and that's how I got my cat
Hey.
Spot.
There you go. There you
Or
go.
Chisholm Worthington.
Yeah, they
Chisholm
used to play.
Worthington. Thank you.
He used to be on all the time on People Are People with Skip something or another. It was a show
Oh.
where they would interview people
I
who
remember
did
that.
weird things. It was like in the 70s. Okay,
I remember
I'm
it.
old.
Late, very late 70s, if not
Skip
early 80s.
Stevenson?
Skip Stevenson, like a comedian
Stevenson.
guy.
Real people.
Real People. That was it. Real People,
Yeah.
not People Are People.
Real people. Skip Stevenson.
People are
Byron
people.
Allen.
How can it be?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
I love that show.
Yeah, and Cal
It's almost
Worthington
as
was
good
always
as-
on it.
That's incredible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. all that TV watching we did when our parents weren't watching us.
Our people.
I'd
too.
forgotten about That's Incredible until we spun TV Party by Black Flag last week.
Oh,
And
God, I
was
love
like,
that song.
Yeah.
oh yeah, That's Incredible. I forgot. I hadn't heard that song in a while. And it's like, yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
Was that on That's Incredible?
well, Black Flag, when
mention
they
it.
list all the songs that were big at that time.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, That's Incredible. That was a thing.
My favorite TV party thing, though, of course, is in Repo Man.
Oh yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's go get sushi and not pay for it.
That's it.
You know, the guy, God, now I can't remember his name. Archie, you know, with the mohawk
Yep.
in the gang. He
Yep.
was actually on that show Medium.
No way.
He's Lieutenant DeValis, her
Wow.
boss, Allison's boss.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh
you'd
my
never even
God.
know it's the same guy.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
an iconic movie right there.
Yeah. One of my good friends has a song in that movie.
No
Oh,
way.
wow.
Yeah, my friend Cosmo. He was in a
Hmm.
band called Burning Sensations, and they did a cover of Jonathan Richman's Pablo Picasso.
Of course, Pablo Picasso.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And one of
Oh my
our very
God.
first interviews we did on the Zoom, Al Block did a cover of Pablo Picasso too. But
That's right.
the best cover is David Bowie's cover.
You know what? I haven't heard David Bowie's cover of Pablo Picasso yet. Sorry, I haven't heard it yet. So I'll have to put that on my agenda.
It's
But,
good. His
Jonathan,
two best covers, his three best covers are God Only Knows, Knock on Wood, and Pablo Picasso.
Wow.
I've heard his God Only Knows, and I love it. Absolutely.
Yeah, that song just crushes my heart.
Yeah,
Every
You know,
version,
it's
every
Bowie.
time.
He can't do anything wrong.
that's true. Even Laughing Gnome, like that's.
I
just
love
great.
Laughing Gnome.
Yeah, we do too.
You know, he does a Paul Williams song.
Which one?
Why am I forgetting? It's on Hunky Dory.
Oh shoot! Damn it! All right,
You
now
know
I
what I'm
have to
talking
Hunky
about.
Dory.
We'll look it up.
Yeah.
Wait,
I've
hold
got-
on.
you know what's funny? I've listened as many times as I've listened to that record. I didn't know that Paul Williams he covered. one of
It's the
Paul-
cutest little song too, and I swear to God, the post-COVID brain that I have, sometimes I forget things.
Is it called Fill Your Heart?
That's it. Fill your heart.
Ah,
No.
I was
Like, look it up.
Googling off in the distance. Yes.
I had-
that sounds like Paul Williams.
Yep, it's Paul Williams.
Beautiful.
Everybody does Paul Williams except for real people. I mean, nobody does him. They
Right.
just do his
That we're
music.
aware of. That we're aware
Right.
of.
Except for I have this huge crush on him, and I have since I was a little kid. He's my favorite Muppet.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And everybody looks at me like, you have a crush on Paul Williams? No, yes, he's the perfect man.
Have you seen the documentary? You probably have.
Yeah, Paul Williams
Yeah.
is still
it's
alive.
Beautiful. It's so beautiful.
He
It
is, and he
crushes-
talks about his brother Mentor. That's why I'm surprised you don't know that.
Hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, I do too, man. That guy's only met him the one time we went to San Diego to see him. Like somebody was doing a benefit for breast cancer. Yeah, breast cancer angels. And it was just really cool. Somebody had lent out their home up in the hills around the city and felt really honored to be there. And I remember meeting him afterwards, and he was just so gracious and cool. And he could have just bolted afterwards, but he was just there. And
I'll tell you something that'll make your heart go like this. We had a DJ here. And when you go to Woody Radio, you see all the names at the top, and then one says Jim fucking Bell. Jim fucking Bell was this huge Paul Williams fan that we had on the air. He's like a giant Muppet. We called him Dr. Tooth. And he was this huge Paul Williams fan, and they used to converse back and forth on Twitter because Jim didn't do Facebook. And when Jim died, he was doing the shows, so he was going through cancer treatment, and it helped him get through the pain that he was going through until he couldn't do it anymore. And when he died, I had to write Paul and tell him, you've been going back and forth with my friend Jim, and he's been DJing for Woody for a long time. And I know you've listened to the show because you've commented that you've heard it. And he wrote me the nicest letter saying that Jim was such a joy to converse with. He just wrote this beautiful, beautiful thing. And I just said, that's all I never want to converse with him ever again because I don't want to ruin this moment.
oh, that's beautiful.
My crush is still there. I mean, he's still my number one crush, but then again, so is Robbie Williams. So, I mean, I have crushes on really dorky guys, but you know, it's Paul Williams. There's something magic about him.
Yeah.
And Lisa covering Paul, like,
Oh yeah, and that was a story too, and I'm glad you could feel that one.
Oh God, yeah. My mom was passing around that time, and that song haunted me. I hadn't heard it since I was a kid, and Lisa brought it back and said, "Hey, we should do the song." And my mom, it was a couple months. I think
that was the one that Andrew gave to us.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. You're right. And we recorded that song, and I just remember I went back to see my mom the last time I saw my mom, and I can't remember why I didn't play it for her. I think it really got under my skin, and I can't listen to it now to this day without thinking about her, because I think about when she left my dad and she took me with her. It was me and her, and I still, like, there's a part in the song where the second chorus hits and then the strings just drop, and I don't know, it was really personal to me. And that song means everything to me, and that recording means everything to me, and I will always associate that for the rest of my life with the last time I met my mom, because I literally, until she passed away, like, I'd wake up in the middle of the night and hear that damn song, and I love that song. But yeah, it's very close to me, and I think it's one of the most beautiful songs ever written, hands down.
you can feel your emotion in it.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. I love that song. I'm just.
And now you got me.
Yeah.
He is. No, I'm telling you that he created magic there, and it just. It means that I love that song. I really love that song. And
My best friend and me had a Carpenter song that he wrote, and when I miss her, I go and play that song, and it's always that one song, Rainy Days and Mondays. Where if I'm missing her, I pull it out and I hear her telling me the song. I hear her telling it to me. You know, there's just somebody who does so much magic with lyrics that you know you can put it in a time and place, and it's always going to affect that time and place and make it just one giant memory. And what you and Lisa did was take that song and make sure that everybody feels that memory from your standpoint in your heart.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Thank
and
you.
I'm sorry I just made you cry, and you made me cry.
Yeah.
No.
Just had a similar conversation with Andrew Curry, who was on my show this last Saturday, and we're talking about that Curry Cuts compilation, the tribute to Paul Williams, White Lace and Promises. And I think what amazed me is that he has written so many songs for such a variety of artists. I mean, Three Dog Night too. I mean, just all over the lot. I mean, he had a song for everybody.
He did.
And he was a giant Muppet. If you go and look at his old-fashioned love song that he does with
That's
the
the one.
Muppets.
Yeah.
That's the one that gets me. Yeah.
Old-fashioned coming down.
My favorite Paul Williams song is Going to Go Back There Someday.
Wow.
From the Muppet movie, because I'm adopted. And I didn't know when I was 12 years old that Gonzo is also adopted. He's a space alien that was adopted by Earthlings. And the song resonated with me, and I still can't to this day listen to it without crying because I feel it. And the Muppets from Space version gets me worse than the Muppet version. Because you just know. And when you're like watching that movie, The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, and Paul Williams had to write a song for the very last few minutes for Glynis O'Connor, where she breaks him out of the bubble and they run away. And they said, Paul, can you write a song for that last little part? I mean, here I am with a dork. I totally know the story. So he wrote, What Would They Say? You know, what would they say if they threw it all away? You know, Little Shack in the Country and all that. He was able to convey an entire movie in a 2-minute song at the end of a really cheesy ABC weekly film.
Yeah.
And there's not many people that can do that. And I actually got into this conversation on Facebook the other night when I said that Amy Mann did that with Magnolia. I don't think it's a very good film, but if you listen to her soundtrack with the movie, it makes it a good film.
Oh God.
I just got chills when you said that, because it's true.
Oh yeah. We
Amy
were
Mann
also, we go
could do
back
anything.
and forth on Magnolia as well, but the music.
Yeah, it's the Tom Cruise thing. He turns me off on the movie. I can't. If I forward pass him, I'm fine.
It's hilarious though. Oh God.
Aim the cunt.
Hey,
It's just
Oh yeah, we
The
could go
John C.
all
Reilly
night. We could
stuff.
go all
Yeah.
night on
the frogs.
Riley.
oh God,
Oh.
that to me, I mean, I love it all. Jason Robards. I mean, there's so many great performances, and I know it's the movie itself, but the music, man, the music.
And she had so many demons that she was fighting.
yeah,
And she takes this thing. And I said, you know, she must have taken a page out of Paul Williams' songbook to be able
Yeah.
to do that. Paul Thomas Anderson said, I want this to be like a 70s film where we have the same person do all the movie music from
Mhm.
beginning to end,
Yeah.
with the exception of an ELO song in the middle.
right. Which
Oh,
is
and a
what-
Supertramp song.
of course, yeah.
Right.
So, and I don't even know if the ELO song made it onto the soundtrack, but I know that the Supertramp one is. But he said, I want you to write, here's the script. I want you to write a song for every few minutes. And she sat down with Michael Penn and they did that.
Yeah, beautiful.
And you listen to Save Me, and if you're not crushed by the end of it,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
and I think that if we didn't have somebody like Paul Williams, she wouldn't have been able to do something like that. You obviously see her influence.
yeah.
Yeah.
The power of great music and great filmmaking, regardless. Again, there's elements of a certain film, but it's powerful regardless. And I think there was a great art to that. Obviously some great John Bryan, obviously. Yeah.
With
he's-
I Heart Huckabees.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
So many great soundtracks under his belt, and the ability to marriage the incredibly powerful music like Paul Williams has done over the years with great cinematography is the ultimate emotional impact.
I
Yeah.
heard a story once where Paul McCartney was talking about when he was still married to the bitch, what was her name, Heather, that they were sent a copy of I Am Sam. And she wrote the guy back who did the soundtrack and said, thanks a lot. You've given me one of the worst sinus infections of my life, crying the beginning and the end. And yes,
Aw.
we do give our permission for these songs to be used.
Aw.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
Paul couldn't talk. He was, you know.
Oh, I love that movie.
Wow.
I love it too. And the soundtrack is brilliant.
It is. God,
really
damn,
is.
that's so good.
And I mean, there are times when you can take a soundtrack and the soundtrack is better than the movie.
Mhm.
That's one where they're equal,
Yeah.
but they need each other to work.
hmm
I don't know if you would have, if I Am Sam would be just as good without the music.
hmm Together. Yeah.
But it's like Phantom of the Paradise. Could you have Phantom of the Paradise without the music? No.
No.
Could you have the Muppet movie without Paul Williams? No.
No.
No. And Velvet Goldmine, even though
Velvet
Bowie pulled out
Goldmine,
all of his
William
songs.
Murphy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I mean-
Exactly. Yeah.
Soundtracks are important, you know. I'm really into Broadway musicals, but I don't like to go see them. I like to listen to them.
hmm
There's
I
something
love it.
magical about them where you're able to hear the story and the songs, and that's, yeah. So I mean, if Electra Woman and Dinah Girl had made it, everybody would have known that song because it tells you what's going to happen in the show. That's what made it so
Mhm.
good. That's a good song for a show.
Yeah. Great song. Great song for a show that should have happened.
I
It
can
should've.
say that Tommy is one of those musicals that I could never go see, like the movie's hard enough. But before I saw the movie, the album just brought the story to life.
Mhm.
So much so that I was torn between, should I keep this because I want to hear it again, but it destroys me. I'm like in tears. I don't even get what the heck this album is about. So I took the choice and just broke the record in half and threw it in the trash.
Smash the
That-
glass.
I couldn't.
Smash the
Whoa.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting. And
The
I-
original Who album or the soundtrack from the movie?
soundtrack.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was so intense, and it takes you on a ride.
That's kind of like in The Wall. The first time I saw The Wall, I was
Yeah.
15.
Mm.
Very
And that
powerful.
changed my life.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was already a huge Sid Barrett fan.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Finding out my birth last name is Barrett helped. So 'cause that's probably
Mhm.
why I was.
Nice. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Love Sid Barrett.
We've
know-
kept you guys on this thing. We should probably wrap this up.
As I
Mike,
just
get up.
typed that.
Sorry,
We kept you on
guys.
this for
Old
like
man's gotta
15
go to bed.
hours.
Happy
It's
with
like a
y'all.
party. It's
It
a
is.
party.
I know. Could we
party.
do this again
Yeah.
Could
in
we?
a couple
We would
weeks?
love to.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
And
having
we would like if you guys like did this with people.
Oh yeah, you know what? We used to about 4 years ago do more of this kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think this is the way of the future. I think that we should start zooming, like who's zooming who.
Yeah.
Who's zooming
love
who?
Well, we have, yeah,
Who's
we're
zooming?
actually, we're about to do something with Gem Records. So
Yes,
Oh,
we
nice.
we
yeah,
are,
so,
yeah.
and I think
We
we
love
should
Gem
do
Trying
this.
to- yeah, we're trying
We
to,
should do this,
thank you for
yeah.
the inspiration, because this has really been a beautiful, we got to know you guys and share experiences and stories and some great songs and ideas for covers and things
I
like
know,
that.
you guys
Drift
might-
Away. I heard Drift Away twice today in
All
the
right.
car.
Wow.
We got to figure that one out.
Yeah,
But,
that song is beautiful.
It is. It's spiritual and awesome. And yeah,
And when you're a little kid and you hear it, it definitely changes why you listen to music.
yeah, it takes you in. It welcomes you. It makes you feel good.
And it's Dobie Gray. I mean, he's the in
freaking
crowd.
Dobie Gray out in the dance
Right.
floor, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be all right.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
actually going to play a Brian Ferry cover of the In Crowd tomorrow.
Oh, I love
Ooh,
that
yeah.
one. Yes.
Nice.
Not Dobie, but it's good.
Hey,
Anything
Still,
Roxy music,
awesome.
Brian Ferry, you got
Brian
my
Ferry,
ear.
it's always gonna be good.
So do you
Exactly.
have fortune cookies for us, Mike?
Oh, shoot. You know what? Talk amongst yourselves. I'll go get them. No.
Yeah, you
I
better
tell
go
you,
get them.
I-
Go get them.
Yeah, you go, definitely go get them. I'll show you the peppers that we grew today. Well, we didn't grow them in a
It
day,
took a
but
few weeks.
Oh my God, those are so
you
cute.
dare, Tom?
No,
You should do it on the air.
no.
Do it. Should we wait till Mike comes back?
Oh, that's
No,
good.
you can't cheat.
What? What you talking about?
I gave the little boy mowing our lawn a pepper once. I had a Thai dragon chili.
Oh,
and I
no
didn't
way.
warn him, and he goes, melt.
Do it.
He
No,
wanted
no.
to be all, Maya was tutoring
I'll
him, and
do
so
it.
he was mowing our lawn.
I'm
And
gonna
he
do
wanted to
it.
impress her.
I'm gonna do it.
Have you ever seen Hot Ones, the show with they make the people
We
at
were
the hot-
talking about that.
Yeah,
No, I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it.
yeah. You know,
Mike would like that.
They
Yeah,
have a
What would I
game.
like?
They have
Hot
a
ones.
game.
They're eating peppers.
We've
Ooh,
never tried these. I said they were between 3 and 5 something.
Scovilles.
wow.
I only bit the tip off. So how
It's
much
good.
did you
That's
eat?
what she said.
Tom is,
I'm here all
Tom's
week.
a little speechless right now.
Woo!
Are you
It's
okay?
hot. It's sweet and hot.
I heard that it doesn't last long. That's what.
She said.
Sorry. Peppers will do
We
it.
get really bad in these chat rooms.
You look good.
Uh-huh.
Holy yikes.
Tom wants that one.
Oh, it's good, man. I
Yeah,
eat it all.
they're very liquidy inside.
Very
Mine's not-
sweet.
That's what she said.
Very hot.
What kind of peppers are these? What kind are these?
Oh, these are the Thai.
Hmm.
Hot Thai?
The sriracha.
No.
No, they're not the sriracha.
They're just-
ones.
So they are the ones I gave the lawn mowing boy.
They're hot.
And you guys grew these.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
Grew 'em.
Awesome.
Finally, right, Mike?
they're
Finally
good.
grew
They're
something
really
before we
good.
die.
Yay.
So go
We
ahead,
just
Mike.
we just pulled a couple cantaloupes out of the garden.
Nice.
Cantaloupes, homegrown cantaloupe. Oh my God.
Were
That's
they
crazy.
small?
No, they're standard
God.
size. And when they get ripe, they're like pure sugar. They're amazing.
I got one last week from Imperfect Foods that they broke in the box.
Oh,
And I was so upset because Imperfect, they're not cheap at Imperfect Foods.
they're
It
just
was
imperfect.
this big and they broke it. I was so bummed because I've been eating melon with Tajin at work.
Ooh,
Mm.
What's you guys' favorite fruits?
Cherries.
Mm.
Absolutely. It's cherries.
Mine used to be a tomato, but I can't taste tomatoes after having COVID.
I've
Really?
heard
Still?
about that.
ooh.
Still?
Do
Yeah.
Do you
Still.
have a thing where they said that everything tastes like it's dead?
Just tomatoes, grapes, and lettuce.
Ooh, okay.
A lot of
Huh.
people are saying like theirs went away. So I'm hoping that for you.
It's
I've got
been
prayers.
7 months.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
So that's just, I can't even imagine. I'm so sorry.
That's awful.
Horrible.
It will go
Hmm.
away, right?
I hope so
I-
because I do miss tomatoes. That's my favorite fruit.
I'm
Mm.
hearing some people say, yeah, I got mine back. Thank goodness. Like I got my taste buds back. But yeah, it's a thing. Oh,
Yeah.
I just made tomato sauce from about 8 pounds of homegrown tomatoes. Second time I made tomato sauce the other night. And that's fairly easy to do. You just go find a recipe, but man, it's like nothing else. Fresh tomatoes.
sorry. And you said you did call us and invite us over, or you forgot?
Oh yeah, totally.
I
Yeah,
just-
I'll be
Totally.
over at his house on the
Totally.
17th of October. Just come on over.
Yeah, come on,
Oh, yeah.
come on up for that.
Happen.
All right,
It's
so you guys ready for
Party
some
at my-
fortunes?
we bring our plates of pasta. Hi.
Right?
No, I'm kidding.
Can I borrow a cup of sauce?
Yeah.
Oh, and bring some
Awesome.
pluots.
So
Throw
we'll
me
bring
some
the
pluots.
margaritas.
That's true.
We can't get pluots here.
Oh no, you can't.
No. Is
Um,
avocado a fruit?
Technically, they say yes.
That's
And that would
crazy.
be my favorite.
Mine too.
Okay, yep. If you're gonna call it a fruit, then I'm all in on that.
My favorite fruit.
Mhm.
I don't know. I probably have to. I really love pears, like really good
Pears.
pears.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just ordered some pears
the
on
kind
that
Imperfect
melt
Foods
in
this
your
week.
mouth.
Up north. What was that, Gidget?
My Imperfect Foods order, I ordered like 3 sets of pears.
Oh, we
Oh
gotta
yeah,
do that.
Bartlett pears. when
The
you're perfectly
little
ripe.
round Asian ones are my favorite.
Oh, nice.
Those are good. They're different
Love
from
those.
other pears. Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
used
much
to
better
grow them,
than
but my tree died.
Oh,
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
so who wants a fortune cookie? I think everybody wants a fortune cookie. Okay. So our local Chinese restaurant, they are so good and so fast, and they really like us. They gave me extra, so I've got like about 15 in here. So we'll be
Nice.
at this for a minute.
okay.
So here's Lisa's right here.
Yay.
And
Okay.
Lisa knows the rules. You know what to say when it's over.
Potato.
In bed.
What's that?
In bed.
Oh,
bed.
right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So here we go. Crack into it.
My mouth's on fire.
And we're going to read the fortune here. Actually, we're going to eat some of this first.
It sucks. He gets to eat our cookie.
Delicious fortune cookie. Okay. This is for Lisa. This is pretty deep. The greatest mistake a man can make is to be afraid of making one.
In bed.
Well,
In bed.
Lisa, yeah, Lisa's not a man, so maybe this is not for Lisa. The greatest mistake a man can make is to be afraid of making one. So just go for it. Carpe diem, seize the
Fear.
day. That's what I'm saying.
My mom used
Yeah.
to say you can't learn from mistakes if you don't make them.
I love
True.
it.
You can learn from other people's
Yeah.
mistakes,
Very
maybe.
good.
This is good.
Okay, I
stuff.
see
Okay,
one.
Now Tom's.
That I think right there, that's Tom's. It keeps vanishing though. Wait, there we go.
Ah,
Okay. So we're gonna open up Tom's, get my late night sugar buzz on here. So we're gonna crack into it here.
Hey, it's my cookie. Give it back.
take it out of its
Just
mouth.
lick him. It's yours.
Oh, there we
We can't,
go.
we can't randomly lick people anymore.
Oh, my cookie.
Okay. So here's Tom's. This actually applies to both of you guys. A smile is nearly always inspired by another smile. That's you guys.
Oh, that is
All right.
them.
In bed.
That's Tom and
Yes.
Lisa.
They're
And I
so
think there's
cute.
one for Gidget in here.
No, Gidget doesn't need one, does she?
And you gotta say the magic
Gidget,
words.
Gidget,
Gidget, Gidget.
Gidget.
He's gonna eat your, yeah.
He's gonna eat my thing.
When I had Gidget and Boris on the show about 2 weeks ago, I think Gidget's fortune was the best ever. It said you will stay healthy by eating more Chinese food. It was great.
All right. I
And-
like that one.
That
That's
is
even
good.
spicy.
Like these.
And she's still eating more?
I am for sure. I'm trying to stay healthy.
Cookie.
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 Give me cookie.
Ah.
Okay. Oh, okay, Gidget. There's more to balance than not falling over
In.
in bed.
Yeah.
That totally knows me.
Brilliant.
The
That's
most
hilarious.
luckiest person in the world. We're like, I think 13 years since I broke my leg when I moved in this house.
Oh,
man.
what happened? How'd you
Oh, I
break
fell
your
down the
leg?
servant stairs.
Oh.
I was trying to shampoo them. They smelled. It was shag carpet.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Blump,
yeah.
blump, 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 blump.
Hmm.
That can't be good.
No.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a big house.
Did it sound kind of like this?
Yes.
Oh man,
Stop.
that's never good.
Wrong.
Lick
How would you
him.
run that SM58 with the bass kicking in there? That was tough, man.
Oh,
I wish you guys could see mine. I can't get it.
I love it. It's a Yeti. Look
That
at that. You
is
got
so
that.
That's
nice.
pretty awesome.
And it has a sleeve.
I love it.
Very cool.
Great mic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've had it for about 6 years.
You can't go wrong with a
I had a
Yeti.
snowball named Marvin before that.
Oh, those are
Like
great.
Marvin from Hitchhikers.
Oh,
Yetis.
nice, nice.
Yeah, because nobody understood him. Nobody ever does.
Where is he today?
He fell and broke, so
Oh,
I had to
okay.
buy a Yeti.
Oh,
And I named my Yeti Jelly Bean because it looks like a giant penis. And
that's
I had to
perfect.
think of something better than giant penis Yeti.
Jelly bean doesn't really sound like it does it justice, but we'll just move on.
It's actually from
Yeah.
the after school special, Welcome Home Jelly Bean.
Wow. I have to look that one
With
up.
Dana Hill and some other buddy, I don't remember. Yeah, and a great song called Welcome Home Jelly Bean by Midget.
Nice.
Yeah, I name things after pop culture. That's just me. I'm weird.
You are like the biggest pop culture expert that I know.
I try. I'm not
Yeah.
the biggest. I'm only like 5 feet tall.
Yeah, keep going.
You're the most compact pop culture expert I know. How's that?
So we'll let you guys go, and you guys can go to bed and be all hot and spicy
Yeah.
in bed.
Oh yeah, yeah. Thursday night.
Don't make me bust out more fortunes, you guys. You guys have been
Look at
so much
he's
fun.
yours.
Hey, you guys, thank you so much.
Thank
we,
you both.
we haven't done anything like this ever. I think.
Ever?
Ever? Nope.
Wow.
So this is
That's
really
once now.
special
That's
for
one.
us.
We've been on
Aw.
we've like
We've never done like
not like
this.
no.
It's usually
Nobody's done anything like this.
right. Exactly.
Me and Mike, I mean,
Hey, you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for having us. This has been really fun. We laughed. I think I got a little teary-eyed a little bit.
it's okay because now we're even. Lisa
Stuff.
made me cry the other day, so
We ran the gamut here
she beat
tonight.
me up. Boom,
we love
boom.
you
No,
guys. This has been awesome.
she knows what she did.
Uh-oh.
It was beautiful.
Yay.
Well, you
hun.
guys have been an absolute
I
joy and
needed it that
pleasure.
day. She has no idea how much I needed
Yeah.
it that day.
We're here 24/7.
Oh, Gidget, I have a question.
Sure.
For someone that has everything coffee, what is something you don't have that's coffee oriented?
A stronger stomach.
Here, here.
I'm out of lavender. No, if I want something coffee related, I just do it. I'm like you.
Wait, so you like coffee?
And tea?
And tea.
And you're out of lavender.
Yeah, but you don't get me lavender. You don't need to get me anything.
She does the pods though.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we can work that out.
I'll figure
We have a really special coffee we're going to try and share with you.
I take the grounds and I put them in my pod thing. I got an instant pot maker.
So you can
Nice.
It
have
does an
loose,
espresso.
but you can have loose coffee. It doesn't have to be the pods.
Mhm.
You can oh, okay.
Great.
I do that. And I put it in this little container and I shove it in there. But I'm very lazy in the morning when I have to make 6 and put them in my container to take to work.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. We
But
got
I
it.
also, just so you guys know, I also do this thing called early bird where I drink green coffee in the morning with all these vitamins and water and it rehydrates you. I've
Yeah.
been doing it for like about 5 months now.
Nice.
So I don't drink coffee till 12 now. It's really weird.
No, that's cool.
I'm trying to back off so my tummy feels better
No, that's cool.
because I can live on coffee 24/7.
Yeah. Hear
I
Mike
would if I
knows.
could. Yeah.
Mike's
Would if
seen
I
me.
could.
It's like I get to the studio in Sacramento. Mike, I gotta pee. You don't know how much I just drank on the way over here. But you just peed at the gas station. No, I gotta go again.
You're just a coffee delivery vehicle. That's all you are.
I am a vessel for
Yeah.
coffee. Yeah.
Love it.
So, well, I love you guys so much.
Love you
Hey, we love
so
you
much.
too. You guys have been
Thank you so
amazing.
much.
You are
Thank
part
you
of
for
our
having us.
family.
Yes.
You are Woody. You make
Right.
us rock hard.
Hey, we love you guys so much. And thank you for having us on the
You
show.
make Mike twirl his wood.
Woo.
Okay. I'll have this up in a couple hours for you guys too, so you guys can see how wonderful you guys are.
You guys
Hey,
are the best.
right
Thank
back
you,
at you. We
Mike.
love you guys.
Love
Bye bye, guys.
Love you guys.
You guys
Bye-bye.
take care.
Thank you
We'll
both.
see you again soon.
Shaking my ear.
Let's do it again.
Bye bye.
Okay, who's gonna leave first? No, me. No, you. You go
I'm
first.
just
and
gonna
I'll
push
go.
the button.
All right.